Mysuru by a Kannadiga sculptor.
All of this, I am not saying BJP is not strong.
Tehseen can be a very strong advocate, but the point is nobody thought that the BJP will win 18 seats in Bengal. It did. There have been many surprises in the past when it comes to central elections. When it comes to central elections, Mr. Siddaramaiah was in power when the BJP returned 25 seats the last time around too, sir. Lok Sabha is different. PM Modi is on the ticket. Who's on the ticket with respect to the Congress party there? You are not even holding the same vote share that you did in the Vidhan Sabha election.
Not crossing
Sanjay Kumar, okay, let's go across to our guest. Sanjay Kumarji is with us. Sanjay Kumarji, your thoughts, sir, on the News 18 mega opinion poll. 284 seats out and 25-3 is the score as far as Karnataka is concerned. Sanjay ji.
More or less on the expected line. There may be disagreement about one state or two states. Say, I know that there is a disagreement about Tamil Nadu, whether BJP will be able to, win 5 seats or not, whether BJP will be able to win 2 seats in Kerala or not. But more or less, if I look at the big picture is more or less on the same line, that BJP is holding on very strong, NDA is very strong, and in 2024 Lok Sabha elections, the India alliance seems to be weakened. About Karnataka, there's a lot of debate about Karnataka. Yes, we have seen in the past that Congress can manage to win elections in the state assembly, but when it comes to the Lok Sabha election, it's a very different kind of voting, especially in Karnataka, and we have seen that happening in many other states as well. You have been mentioning, Narasimhan, that the Modi is on the the
ticket
vote is for the Modi, and Prime Minister Modi is a vote puller for the BJP in the Lok Sabha election. That's likely to happen even in 2024 Lok Sabha election. So as I said, to conclude, I'm not surprised. I may be surprised a little bit by the extent of victory which the opinion poll is suggesting. I'm also a little skeptical about Kerala and Tamil Nadu.
Kerala and Tamil Nadu, a lot of discussion points and conversation points around Kerala and Tamil Nadu because of the seat share projections. We have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the methodology is that each Lok Sabha constituency, 3 Vidhan Sabha areas have been each Lok Sabha seat, 3 Vidhan Sabha constituencies have been covered. 218 interviews in every constituency, every Lok Sabha seat has been done. So this is feedback from.
Fine.
No, I'm just saying this is feedback from the ground. Please, people can challenge, accept, disagree. That's true. I'm just putting out the methodology.
I'm glad that this is a poll which is showing the methodological details. Absolutely fine, very good. But that doesn't guarantee.
No, that's true. Absolutely. The other thing is, ladies and gentlemen, we have to also tell you very, very clearly that these are all projections. The number that we need to keep in mind at this point is the BJP saying 370. Right now, if it is not gaining 3 more seats in Karnataka, it is not moving towards the 370 number.
Precisely.
We have to understand that so far it's holding ground. Yesterday or day one of the News 18 mega opinion poll, Rahul Shivshankar had surmised that there is about a 12 to 15 seat gain for the NDA overall, not necessarily for the BJP.
It hasn't started with a gain. It might end up with a few losses. We don't know. Our opinion polls suggest that it is holding steady. But, fundamentally, there is a sense of anxiety. You would not be getting rid of 10 sitting MPs and bringing another 10 if there was no. And the focus is again in that Mysuru South region.
Correct.
That's the Achilles heel. So, Dr. Aman, do you believe the BJP has done enough to secure itself in this South Karnataka area where it has traditionally been weak? In 2 assembly elections that it lost, it only got about 11 out of 61 seats in these 10 districts.
Now, one particular issue that I want to point out, Rahul, is that the JDS is not the JDS it was maybe 10 years ago. So, and we saw that in the assembly election. One very important factor, the Muslim vote in Karnataka, particularly in the old Mysore region, used to be divided between the JDS and the Congress. Now, with this alliance going to the BJP, that Muslim vote is going to go away from JDS and is going to go into the hands of the Congress. So, it doesn't really mean that the JDS got 13% last time. You can straight away add that 13% to the BJP's 36% and then you will get 49%. It doesn't work that way. Second, 36% was the BJP's vote share in the assembly election held about a year or even less than a year ago. It is extremely unlikely that that number would go to 58. I understand Mr. Modi is on the ticket. that would push a very significant proportion of voters towards the BJP.
RP Singh,
and
how do you respond
maybe
to
a
Dr.
10-12%
How do you
swing.
respond to
But
Dr. Raman? How do you
36
respond to Dr.
58 is a 22%
Fair enough.
swing in
Fair
favor of the BJP, which
Fair
I
enough.
don't think is feasible.
Okay, it's not feasible. Fair enough. Yes, go ahead.
So
RP Singh.
Dr. Raman himself answered the question. He said it's the big ticket for Prime Minister Modi. This election is not the state election, one. Secondly, over the last few months, there's a very strong anti-incumbency in the state government also. What is happening in Bangalore today is not confined to Bangalore. The message goes to other part of the state also, the water crisis, and the way the promises were made, and they have partially tried to fulfill them at the cost of the development in the state, and this message has percolated down. Our party has also ensured that message goes down, and we are accepting, we have taken the political advantage also of they are not fulfilling the promises as they made. I mean, it has been only partially done and half-heartedly done.
Right. So far, sir, if you want to do better than 2019 as a party and as an alliance, are you on course for that, or are you on course just to be able to get to where you were in 2019? We'll leave the viewers to figure those numbers out as we take a break, ladies and gentlemen. 211, 64, 9 out of 284 seats that have been so far called out of 543 here on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll. Shujat Ali of the Congress with us. Our guests have a lot to say, but we've got a lot of ground to cover. It's a pan-network coverage, and that's why we're going to stick to time and our ad breaks. When we come back, it's 3 more states that we'll add: Rajasthan, Uttarakhand, and Telangana. Stay with us. Namaste, Jai Hind, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very, very much. You are on CNN News 18, part of the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll, part 2 of the News 18 Network's mega coverage of Bharat's biggest opinion poll. Over the course of the next few hours, Rahul Shivshankar, Shivani Gupta, and of course Zaka Jacob, who will get into the mix in a bit, will get you big numbers from 12 other states. In part 1 of the opinion poll survey, the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll, we brought you the complete picture of 242 seats across 9 states of Bihar, Himachal Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Haryana, Delhi, Madhya Pradesh, Punjab, and Uttar Pradesh. The big numbers across 242 seats that give the NDA a clear edge. So far, the NDA has almost a 3-time lead over the India Alliance. But what will be the scenario across the remaining 301 seats over the next remaining 12 other states? In just a bit, we will bring you the opinion poll of 2 big states, that of Karnataka and Assam. But ahead of that, let's recap the overall Bharat numbers across 242 seats. Now, it clearly gives an edge. It clearly gives an edge to the NDA with 174 seats out of 242, 61 to the INDI alliance. But what's the basis of this survey? How has this survey been conducted? We'd like to recap the survey methodology once again, ladies and gentlemen. 21 major states, accounting for 95% of the Lok Sabha constituencies, have been covered. 1,18,616 have been polled with a questionnaire. It's a computer-aided personal interview, or CAPI, in 11 languages. A total of 518 Lok Sabha constituencies have been covered. So 518 out of 543, nearly 95% overall of Bharat has been covered across these 21 states and union territories. 210 interviews have been conducted in each Lok Sabha constituency. 3 Vidhan Sabha constituencies in each Lok Sabha seat have been covered. 5 polling booths have been selected via random sampling. That's the extent of this, what we can very proudly say, most widespread, comprehensive and exhaustive opinion poll, the News 18 mega opinion poll. Day one, these are the states that were covered. Uttar Pradesh, where it was a clear sweep for the NDA, 77 out of 80 seats to the NDA. Then Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Bihar. These were some of the standout states out of the 9 states that were covered. What are the big takeaways? Historic 77 seats for the BJP in Uttar Pradesh. If you look at the numbers, and in Tamil Nadu, the NDA gets and breaks open its account, 5 seats there, 30 seats to the DMK Congress India Alliance. If you look at the states of Kerala, 14 seats to the UDF, 4 to the LDF. So the LDF pinching back 4 seats, but 2 seats to the NDA. Many were very surprised whether that'll really happen. In Bihar, it's 39 out of 40, 38 out of 40. Last time it was 39 out of 40. This time it's 38 out of 40 for the NDA. INDI Alliance getting 2 seats. So that's how the breakaway at this point is. What are the takeaways? The survey suggests that the BJP is sweeping the heartland. The survey also gives us the takeaway that it's a historic win and never before for the NDA in Uttar Pradesh. The expansion of the entire saffron food. On the News 18 mega opinion poll, and we're going to call out the next 3 states. 284 out of 543 seats called already. 211 to the NDA. NDA on course. 61 seats it needs to get to 272, the halfway mark. Let's look at Rajasthan. 25 seats in the state of Rajasthan, all 25 going to the NDA. The BJP walking away with all 25 seats in Rajasthan. That's what the News 18 mega opinion poll tells you. 218 interviews from every Lok Sabha seat in Rajasthan. That's what's been used to make the projection, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the standard template across all the Lok Sabha seats surveyed, 518 in all. 61% vote share for the BJP in Rajasthan. Perhaps the first state where the BJP is so comfortably, individually on its own, crossing the 60% vote share mark at the Lok Sabha elections in the News 18 mega opinion poll. So this is 61, 33, 6. That's the vote share, but all 25 go to the BJP. That means, again, far more closer to that 272 number, the NDA now. Let's look at Uttarakhand. All 5 go to the BJP. All 5 go to the BJP. In Uttarakhand again, 0 to the Congress party. These are all straight fights between the BJP and the Congress. So there is no alliance called here. That's why the party is being called out. Again, 62% vote share. Another state after Rajasthan where the BJP is commanding a whopping 60+% vote share, 62% vote share for the BJP. That means 241 already. That count is going up to 241. One more state, Telangana. This is going to get everybody a buzz, and we're going to have the debates going through. BJP 8 seats. 8 seats out of 17 for the BJP. So again, gain. Is it gain? 8 seats for the BJP, 6 for the INDI Alliance, 2 for the BRS. 8, 6, 2 and 1. That 1 could be the AIMIM. Yes. And the old Hyderabad seat, is that the one? There will be Madhavi Lata who would want to disagree, but the Owaisis have held fort there since the 1980s, since Alauddin Owaisi is up. So, 27% vote share for the BRS, 28% vote share for the BJP. INDI Alliance, 34% vote share. The others pulling away 11% vote share. So the moment it's a 3-party fight, 3-party race, the votes are getting split.
Reading error.
Are you telling me the BJP is getting more than the Congress in Telangana?
The BJP is getting more than the Congress in Telangana in the Lok Sabha elections.
Interestingly, not in the vote share. The vote share is still very much 34% for Congress.
At this rate, but the BJP should get 500 seats.
Okay, I want to very quickly point out the scenario as far as last time is concerned. Why is everybody abuzz with this result? TRS to this time, the BRS to this time, that means a loss of 7 seats for the BRS. They had 9 last time, single largest party with 42% vote share almost. The BJP had won 4 last time. It's not like they didn't open their account. They had 4 last time. They're adding 4. They're also adding about 10% in their vote share, according to our opinion poll. The INDA, predominantly the Congress as far as Telangana is concerned, very small marginal partners for them. They had 3 last time. They're adding 3. They're also adding 4% in their vote share. This, I think, is going to be the AIMIM, the others. But here the interesting story
is... That's where
is...
the 15% has been split. The BRS 15% minus in their vote share is being gained by
both BJP and the INDA. But the others have also lost a little bit. They were 11%. They've come down to just about 9%. I also want to very quickly point out, this is another state, of course, where recently we've had the state elections, the Congress posting a very majestic win here. The Congress had 39% vote share in that election. So in general elections, 34.
So it's
the
a 5%
BRS
split.
had 37. They're down to 27 as far as general elections are concerned. And the BJP had jumped from 7 to 14 in that election, mind you, which was the big story. So they were 14 roughly. They're going to be about 28 as far as the general elections are concerned.
So the BJP at the center in Lok Sabha is actually pulling vote shares from the BRS and also from the INDA or the Congress.
And very quickly, the story, of course, in Telangana is the collapse of the BRS, which is helping both the BJP.
Collapse of the BRS. Yes,
Anand, let me tell you, I have been tracking Telangana for some time, especially ever since this, the struggle for the creation of that state. I spoke to some BRS people. They were completely on board with the fact that they are not going to get more than 2 seats as of now. But they felt that actually Congress will do better than the BJP. BJP will get around 6 seats and the rest will be with the Congress. And they pointed out some problems with whatever. So, and if you look at the BJP's candidate list also and the kind of joinings that have been happening since then, a lot of BRS people have joined, at least 3 BRS MPs, 2 MLAs, etc. They've all been given tickets. They've joined the BJP. So there is a ground problem for the BJP in that area. Sikandrabad is the only organically BJP seat that they've been winning through the last few years. So all the other places, they have to depend on other for people, from turncoats and things like that. And this BRS person was extremely cynical, I thought, politically, said, Abhi, the things will run in the same way. In Telangana, what happens is, whoever wins the assembly, that person will win big in the Lok Sabha and the panchayats. And then just close to the election, whatever political change has to happen, then that movement will start. So there is a political momentum in the state, which he said is not going to be
I kind of slightly disagree. I believe that, not with you, of course. This is a state which is crucial actually for the Congress and the BJP both. For the BJP to prove that when it's up against the Congress, which in Telangana it is now, after what happened in the assembly, to prove that it is succeeding in Congress Mukt Bharat, it has to do better against the Congress. If it doesn't, well, they're egg on its face. So there is a little bit of prestige here. But for the Congress, this will be a little worrisome because they were hoping to once again do better against regional parties, script a comeback. If they have to do well in the neighboring state of Andhra, Telangana would have been. Because BJP, I put in my notes, needs to breach the 25% to be a serious contender, and our poll is showing
28%.
28%. So I think we're prescient here. The thing is, for BJP, Telangana is the second state after Karnataka.
Okay.
Where it actually has a chance of doing better.
Okay. Now, in this case, if Mr. Amit Shah is watching this, he's going to be upset with us because only the other day he said 12 out of 17 seats. 12 seats is what the BJP is hoping for. In Telangana, many would say unprecedented. There can be different opinions. I'm just putting out what the BJP believes at this point. They may be totally off the ball.
No, but they play always the maximalist position.
Not just the maximalist position. This was the reaction of the BJP MLAs the day after the Telangana result. Their thing was that they will win minimum 10 seats. That was the confidence they had despite the Congress taking the Vidhan Sabha. They said Lok Sabha hum minimum 10 jeetenge. That's what their thought process was. Now Javed ji. Yes, Javed. That's why Amit Shah is saying 12. Ji.
My experience tells me never go by what the leaders say. Amit Shah said he'll win 200 seats in Bengal, in Karnataka. You have to talk up.
He said 115 Gujarat.
You have to talk up your position because you need to
Yeah,
you know,
pump
get
up your own
figures.
cadre.
No, but
Yeah.
as far as Telangana is
Let him
concerned,
complete. Let him complete.
yeah.
Let him complete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for the BRS is fighting for its survival. For the Congress, it's very important to win and win big there, because otherwise the Congress will not even go past 54 that it had last time.
Absolutely.
And for the BJP, it's also very important that they do well in Karnataka. They will form the government even if they don't do well in South India, but they need to do well in South India to be able to get anywhere near 370.
Right. Okay. Tehseen. Yeah.
I am again
Then
going
we
to
go to Shujat ji. Yeah.
I'm going to stick my neck out and say in Karnataka, the Congress is anywhere about 10. In Telangana, the Congress is 12. Come what may.
Okay.
It is this analysis seems to be that okay, you've got suddenly Amit Shah ji said this, Modi ji said this, Modi ji.
But
wants
would you
370.
concede then if the Congress doesn't do well in Telangana, according to your numbers, it is actually in trouble?
If this is the numbers in Telangana, Congress is not crossing 50.
Even if it does, even if it does
He's
well
right.
in Telangana, it is in trouble because the Congress will not get anywhere near 100.
Okay.
Where is it losing?
Now here is a
Where is it losing so much
No,
if they don't
If
win
they
so
don't
well
get
in
those numbers in
Telangana?
Telangana, if these are the numbers, Congress is not crossing 50.
After the manner in which Rahul Gandhi has sort of played up the North versus South, the wisdom of the voters, etc., his prestige is on the line more than anyone else.
Okay, let's just
I
go
don't
across.
get anything.
Shujat Ali ji, Telangana and Karnataka.
No, he did.
The opinion poll
He made
does not show big gains for the INDI alliance, especially the Congress party. Kya kahenge? How would you see this, sir? Despite that big win in Telangana, Revant Reddy and team will not get more than 6 seats in the Lok Sabha.
According to our internal survey, which has come just now, we are going to get minimum 20 seats in Karnataka and 14 seats in Telangana.
Fantastic, sir. And
Our position is very strong in both these states. 20 in Karnataka and 14 in Telangana.
sir, when was the last time the Congress won 20 seats in Karnataka, sir?
Last time you don't ask where. We
No,
are
sir,
talking
I'm
about
saying
the
when
latest
was the
position.
last time, despite being in power, that the Congress won 20 seats in Karnataka Lok Sabha, sir?
See, BJP came in 1980. Before that, only Congress was ruling the entire country.
Correct, sir. So you're going back 44 years.
So our position is very strong in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Telangana.
Sir.
As far as Telangana is concerned, I would like to tell you again, we are going to get 14 seats in Telangana.
14 seats in Telangana. Okay. Sardar RP Singh,
Yes.
you're saying 14 seats in Telangana. We will check with Sardar RP Singh. Your thoughts, sir? 8 seats बहुत ज़्यादा दे दिया opinion poll में आपको.
Ask him.
कैसे जीत सकते हैं आप 8 सीट? How can you win 8 seats, sir?
जी, thank you so much. Thank you. Anand, in the assembly election also, our vote percentage doubled from 7 to almost 13.94 or 14%. And this time again it's going to double because there's a rider again. The Prime Minister's election for the Prime Minister of the country. It's election for the country. It's not the state election. And the Telangana CM has already stated that he wants to follow the Gujarat model. And if you want to follow the Gujarat model, then yes, people would like to vote for a person who can help the state also with the Gujarat model. And that's the Prime Minister Modi.
Well, let me bring in the gentleman from the spokesperson of the BRS. So this is not looking very good for regional parties. You had succeeded in stalling the advance of the Congress and the BJP. Andhra Pradesh, United Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, both were pushing up regional parties. Now that's not happening. Okay.
BRS panelists just dropped out. But Sanjay Kumar ji, would you look at this number? If I can ask Sanjay Kumar, Shujat Ali, Sumant C. Raman, and we have Sardar RP Singh with us. So Sanjay ji, do you believe that the BJP will have gains in Telangana? Because if they want to move closer to 350 as a party from 303, Telangana is one of the states they have to make big gains in.
Anand, you're right that Prime Minister Modi has, set a target that BJP would be winning 370 and India would be winning 400 plus. If BJP has to come anywhere close to that, they need to make gains in the southern state. We are discussing Telangana. I'm not surprised that Telangana in the Lok Sabha election, it is heading for a bipolar contest between BJP on one side and the Congress on the other side. So I'm not surprised about that because voters of the state realize that this is not a state assembly election and the two claimant for forming the government at the center would be BJP or the Congress along with their allies. Even though they realize that Congress may be, poor second, but still the possibility of challenging BJP at the center would be the Congress. So I'm not surprised that the polls suggest that 8 seats to BJP and 6 to Congress. I would not stick my neck out to say, oh, Congress may get 8 and BJP may get 6. But I think more or less this is the direction in which I see Telangana moving in 2024 Lok Sabha elections.
250 nearly, 249 out of 284 so far. 331, beg your pardon. 249 out of 331 so far, right there above me, the score is there. 70 for the INDI alliance, 12 others, 331 may say 249. 249. We have gone to 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 states. 14 states we have declared. 14 states declared. Yeah.
In 2 states now, Karnataka and Telangana, the Congress actually affecting the fortunes of the regional parties. Interesting. How will that be viewed by other prospective partners, so-called secular parties? That's interesting. In Karnataka, winning on the back of JDS, and here at the expense of the BRS.
It's getting ruined because it's gone with the BJP house.
No, it happened in the assembly elections.
They were not partners in the assembly.
I know they weren't, but I'm saying that they were gaining at the expense of a regional player.
But this is not.
And that's the reason why today the JDS is with the BJP.
No, but at the expense of an alliance partner.
Let Javed
Is that in the BJP candidate?
This is not a new phenomenon.
The BJP doesn't claim to have a secular,
The Congress and the JDS have been contesting each other since Kingdom Come. This is not something which has happened today. How does that affect all the other regional parties?
And you had a point to make to Sumansi Raman about the Muslim vote.
Mr. Suman was talking about the consolidation of Muslim vote. Look, every time one Muslim vote alone cannot make or mar a party's fortunes. And it can only make a difference if it is in conjunction with when other castes, other communities join it. And by itself, and if there is a Muslim consolidation, then the reverse will happen. There will be a majority community consolidation also. So therefore, we overhype or we talk, we give it far more importance than actually it happened.
Fair point made. The other aspect is even the Muslim vote can be split based on segments or sections or sectarian or caste groupings within the Muslim society itself, be it the Sunni votes, the Shia votes, the Pasmanda, Sufi votes, all of that can also break down, and there is a difference even in gender. The men and the women among the Muslims.
Alan, just one quick point about Karnataka. I come back to Karnataka again. This is bothering me a lot. How does the BJP claim to get, or the survey says the BJP is getting both the Lingat and Vocaliga votes if it's getting this many seats, and there's a polarization in the Muslim vote.
During Lok Sabha polls, they do get.
That's true, but the
That's
Lingat
why they won
if you are asking a question, you also listen. If you are asking a question, at least hear her answer.
To finish, I tell you the combination the Congress is here. The Congress in the south of Karnataka has a good thing going with the Vocaligas, with the minorities, with the Kurba, with the SC, the community, the Kurba.
So you are looking at this as if it's an assembly election. This is a national election where Modi is on the ticket.
Okay, no. 3 or 4 is 15%. Excuse me,
That is not showing. The Congress will get more than 10 seats.
What was the BJP's in Karnataka? What was the BJP's vote share? Can we pull that number up in 20?
Let's go back to Karnataka. Let's go back to Karnataka.
State election. Can we bring in Karnataka state election and look at the BJP?
State election I don't have quite here, but you wanted to know.
States, I think,
2019 Lok Sabha we have. We've not
2014 Lok Sabha we have.
I was looking at the 2023 state election in Karnataka.
So Karnataka, I remember this. They had retained their vote share about 36%.
36%.
They lost seats, but they retained their vote share.
20% more. In Lok Sabha, it's
That's
almost
an
20%.
outlier in
more.
20.
No,
It's
it's not
not
an outlier. Interestingly,
Sir,
in
even in
Karnataka,
2014
that's
this was the
that's
case.
another fact. I remember this. There was a 2% bump up for the BJP. The BJP increased its vote share in Karnataka by 2% despite the Congress victory and a big win there. So, despite losing the assembly elections, they had a 2% bump up in the Vidhan Sabha elections, and there has always been a 15 to 18% bump up for the BJP in Karnataka when it comes to Lok Sabha. So, the Prime Minister on the ticket is not 3 to 4%, Tehseen Poonawalla, it's upwards of 15%. Sardar RP Singh, will you take the 8 seats in Telangana? Because that's 4 less than what the Chanakya of the BJP has set as target. और सिर्फ 8 में तो आपका 370
Chanakya is never wrong. Let's understand this, especially with the parliamentary election. He can never go wrong. And also, again, I reiterate, we have increased our vote bank every time. I mean, we were 7% to 14%, and now we are going to increase this time again. And as I said, this is a parliamentary election. This is election for Prime Minister Modi. This is not election for the local state chief minister. And then again, people are not going to waste their vote by voting for BRS. I'm sorry to say that. They are going to vote for us. The BRS vote is in big number is getting transferred to us.
You know, Anand, with your permission, I just wanted to go across to Sumant. Sumant, you wanted to come in very quickly, then I have a question for you as well.
Yeah, two quick points, Shivani. One of them is related to Telangana. Actually, the Congress has set a target of 10 seats in Telangana for the party as a kind of a bare minimum. And in Karnataka also, they're actually reasonably confident of at least picking up 7 to 8 seats, closer to 10. So this 25-3, I don't see it as a feasible option. Especially, I do agree that the BJP will win the majority of seats in Karnataka, but it is not going to be a sweep.
So you're saying the assembly bump is going to translate into a Lok Sabha bump for the Congress?
No, the assembly last time, the Siddaramaiya government had completed
balloon has already busted.
huge anti-incumbency. 1 minute, Mr. Singh, 1 minute. Last time, in 2019, there was anti-incumbency against the Congress government very significantly because they had almost completed their term. Whereas this time, they're just 1 year old. So it's extremely unlikely that the same. I do concede the BJP will win the majority of seats in Karnataka.
But you know, the question,
I don't believe there is going to be a 25-3. And Telangana, there is no way they are winning 8 seats.
Okay.
There's no real
we'll have
logical
to wait.
way. If you can name the seats, I can
but
take
Sumant,
it.
I had a question for you. I mean, you know, now we've done about 4 major southern states. We showed Kerala, Tamil Nadu yesterday. We are showing you the vote share jump for the BJP in states like Telangana. And of course, in Karnataka, they've always been pretty strong in the Lok Sabha. Sumant, don't you think this narrative of the BJP not doing well in the south is not going to stick around? Even in the run-up to these elections, that narrative is already breaking down?
As I said, the BJP will increase its vote share in the southern states, primarily because Mr. Modi is on the ticket. It's not an assembly election, it's a Lok Sabha election. So, I'll tell you an example. A BJP NDA alliance in 2014 polled almost 20% in Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
Right? And then the BJP went back to being a 3% party in the assembly elections after that. So the point really is that this, I would say that it's not the BJP NDA, it's a Mr. Modi factor, but I'm completely disagreeing with the number of seats which are projected. There's no way that
we should be actually talking Telangana more because the past record historically, as Rahul Shivshankar and also the empirical data shows, the BJP always becomes stronger in Lok Sabha. In Karnataka, it's not going to be weaker. And especially, Nistula wanted to say something on Telangana. I'm going to take a break. Also, please hold your thoughts.
In Telangana, BJP always says that, you know, when in 84 elections, when they didn't win any seats, they won 1 seat in the United, earlier erstwhile state of Andhra Pradesh, the Hanamkonda seat, which is now in Telangana, and the other in Gujarat. So they keep harping on that. They also talk about the demographic distribution, etc., etc. But what they did before the assembly election, which is change the party president there, remove a very aggressive party president like Bandi Sanjay and get Mr. Kishan Reddy, that hurt their party prospects in that
Not
state.
just that, there was a talk on ground that the BRS and the BJP are in cahoots, and that vote, that anti-BRS vote moved en masse to the Congress, and that's not going to happen in the central Lok Sabha elections is something which our reporters, our people on ground picked up from the
No, but
sentiment
there
from
is
the voter
still,
on ground.
I feel that there is
Whether it-
still
Right. Whether Revant Reddy is
There
still
is an
able to
effect
garner,
which is
we'll see.
playing out.
We'll see. Now, this is the number, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a break. Let's look at this number. The big number as of now, 249 for the NDA, 70 for the INDIA, 331 declared. Two more big states coming in, Odisha and Chhattisgarh. Will that increase the count and take the NDA par 272? Stay with us here on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll. Also visible in the south. Pollsters are predicting Tamil Nadu surge. BJP set to open its account in Kerala. All of these aspects stand out. In the state on course, 61 seats it needs to get to 272, the halfway mark. Let's look at Rajasthan. 25 seats in the state of Rajasthan, all 25 going to the NDA, the BJP. BJP walking away with all 25 seats in Rajasthan. That's what the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll tells you. 218 interviews from every Lok Sabha seat in Rajasthan. That's what's being used to make the projection, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the standard template across all the Lok Sabha seats surveyed, 518 in all. 61% vote share for the BJP in Rajasthan. Perhaps the first state where the BJP is so comfortably, individually on its own, crossing the 60% vote share mark at the Lok Sabha elections in the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll. So this is 61, 33, 6. That's the vote share, but all 25 go to the BJP. That means, again, far more closer to that 272 number, the NDA now. Let's look at Uttarakhand. All 5 go to the BJP. All 5 go to the BJP. In Uttarakhand again, 0 to the Congress party. These are all straight fights between the BJP and the Congress. So there is no alliance called here. That's why the party is being called out. Again, 62% vote share. Another state after Rajasthan where the BJP is commanding a whopping 60+% vote share, 62% vote share for the BJP. That means 241 already. That count is going up to 241. One more state, Telangana. This is going to get everybody a buzz, and we're going to have the debates going through. BJP 8 seats. 8 seats out of 17 for the BJP. So again, gain. Is it gain? 8 seats for the BJP, 6 for the INDI alliance, 2 for the BRS. 8, 6, 2 and 1. That one could be the AIMIM.
Yes.
And the old Hyderabad seat. Is that the one? There will be Madhavi Lata who would want to disagree, but the Ovaisis have held fort there since the 1980s, since Alauddin Owaisi is up. So, 27% vote share for the BRS, 28% vote share for the BJP. INDI alliance, 34% vote share. The others pulling away 11% vote share. So the moment it's a three-party fight, three-party race, the votes are getting split.
Reading error.
Are you telling me that BJP is getting more than the Congress in Telangana?
The BJP is getting more than the Congress in
interestingly-
Telangana in the Lok Sabha elections.
No, so interestingly, not in the
Shivani.
vote share. The vote share is still very much 34% for
Anand,
Congress.
at this rate,
But
the
I want
BJP should get 500 seats.
Okay, I want to
There you go, sir.
very quickly point out the scenario as far as last time is concerned. Why is everybody abuzz with this result? TRS to this time, the BRS to this time, that means a loss of 7 seats for the BRS. They had 9 last time, single largest party with 42% vote share almost. The BJP had won 4 last time. It's not like they didn't open their account. They had 4 last time. They're adding 4. They're also adding about 10% in their vote share, according to our opinion poll. The INDA, predominantly the Congress as far as Telangana is concerned, very small marginal partners for them. They had 3 last time, they're adding 3. They're also adding 4% in their vote share. This, I think, is going to be the AIMIM, the others. But here the interesting story
That's where
is...
the 15% has been split. The BRS 15% minus in their vote share is being
going
gained
by
the
both BJP and the INDA. But the
INDA
others have
alliance.
also lost a little bit. They were
Yeah.
11%, they've come down.
Back on the News 18 mega opinion poll, ladies and gentlemen. So far, 331 seats, 249 to the NDA. They are within striking distance. 23 seats they need more to cross that halfway number of 272. PM Modi may have set the benchmark very high, but in that race to the parliament and into governance, 272 is the halfway mark. 543 seats in the Lok Sabha. If the NDA crosses 272 even before all the seats are declared, then are they on course to go at least 330 par? Let's try and see where it is. Where will they end on the News 18 mega opinion poll? 331 out of 543 seats have been declared. So there are still about 200 plus seats to go, ladies and gentlemen. So that means 212 seats to go. So is that possible? What do you think could be the final number? Stay with us. Let's bring in the next state in the mix, even as our guests are with us. Shivani Gupta with me here on the Magic Wall and Rahul Shivshankar on the consulting editor's chair. The state of Odisha, ladies and gentlemen. Will they shake hands? Will they say, chalo, bhai bhai mein no ladai? We'll have to wait and watch the BJD and the BJP. But it is 21 seats. The BJP will take 13. 8 to the BJD. So 13 more get added to the NDA kitty courtesy the BJP. Is this big gains for the BJP compared to the last time around where they had less than 10 seats? That's the big story, ladies and gentlemen. Is there a shift away from the BJD towards the BJP, and is this the future course? Remember, Odisha votes simultaneously for the Vidhan Sabha and the Lok Sabha. What's going to happen there? Will they all say, bhai bhai mein no ladai? Vote share. 40, 43, 15 and 2. 43% vote share for the BJP when it comes to the Lok Sabha election. Does that translate to any gains for them in the Vidhan Sabha? We'll have to wait and watch. Highly unlikely. There they believe Naveen Babu is the right person and they trust the BJD, the ODR, the voters. But when it comes to Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the ticket, Lok Sabha, it is the BJP that they depend on, and that means a 43% vote share will give them a very rich return of 13 seats. And that clearly is more, because my memory serves me right, the BJP last time around had less than 10 seats. So that means there are gains here. What does that mean? Let's get into Chhattisgarh quickly. Let's understand Chhattisgarh is the magic 272 number, getting up with the Chhattisgarh numbers. 11 seats. 11 seats and the BJP taking 10. Straight fight between BJP and the Congress is flattened out, and that's the big news. Here on the News 18 mega opinion poll, 363 out of 543, the NDA touches the halfway mark. 272 for the NDA. That's the big headline right now, with the BJP taking 10 out of 11 Chhattisgarh seats. Big gains, and with nearly 180 seats still to be declared. 180 seats still to be declared. 16 states announced, 5 states left. 180 seats still to go. The NDA has crossed the halfway mark. Halfway mark, ladies and gentlemen. 272 for the NDA on the News 18 mega opinion poll. That means with 180 seats still to go. 180 seats baki hai. You can see the bottom of the screen. 363 out of 543. 180 seats still to go. And the NDA has crossed the halfway mark on the News 18 mega opinion poll. That's the big flash, the big news here on the News 18 mega opinion poll, ladies and gentlemen. The NDA crosses the halfway mark with still a lot to go. There you go. That's the big one. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the led BJP and the NDA, boom, crosses the halfway mark. 272 plus for them. It's the big win. What does that mean? How many more out of the 180 seats that are left? Are these BJP Pradhan, or this is where the BJP has to do a lot of ghamasan? That's the interesting part, ladies and gentlemen, because how many more from these 180 can they win to get closer to that 400 par target for the NDA? That's the big question. 130 out of those 180 is that even possible to touch 400. Interesting.
Yeah. But very interesting numbers coming out of Odisha, and one wonders, is this why the BJD may consider an alliance with the BJP? Because look at the reversal. The BJD last time had 12 seats. They're losing 4 according to our poll. So they're coming down to 8. The BJP was at 8. They're gaining 5. So going to 13, and the Congress had 1. They're losing that 1. Vote share wise, the BJP is now being projected at 43%. They're gaining 3 from the BJD, 2 from the others. So the BJD comes down to 40 and the BJP goes up to 43. That's the vote share difference. But this is such a story for the BJP because this is one of those states where you know that the elections happen at the same time with the Lok Sabha elections, the state and the assembly and the Lok Sabha elections. And even though the BJP has been trying to inch up as far as the Lok Sabha tally is concerned, they don't really make a dent as far as assembly
Let's
is concerned.
quickly look at
Naveen Patnaik always considered very strong as far as Odisha is concerned, but it looks like the BJP could become the single largest party here.
The single largest party as far as Lok Sabha is concerned. Vidhan Sabha will
we'll wait and
different.
see.
Yeah, and Chhattisgarh, if we let's quickly
Yeah,
look
let's
at
quickly
2019.
go across to Chhattisgarh as well. And Chhattisgarh, of course, you know, this is one of those states that they have rest back as well. So they will hope that this is going to be an important one for them. So this is how it stood. They're gaining a couple of seats here. I think one seat here, 10 from 9.
10 out of 11, 9 and 2 last time around. Now Rahul Shivshankar, Javed Ansari, Nistullah Ahbar will also go across to our guests on the other side or joining us. Tehseen Poonawala has just jumped out of the studio. Nalin Mehta is standing there, managing editor, Moneycontrol on queue. Why don't you walk into the set, sir? It's all right. It's all happening live here. Hamare viewers se kya chupana? Please come and sit. Rahul Shivshankar.
Well, I'm
5
not
seats,
surprised.
5 seats plus in Odisha, 1 seat plus in Chhattisgarh, some gains in Telangana. Is the BJP set to do better than 303 right now with 180 seats still to go?
Well, remember that what we are projecting are NDA numbers. There are also certain states where the BJP is in an alliance. So we need to now fine-tune and go back to all these numbers and set the NDA aside. So we need to find out how many JDS is going to win, how many JDU will win, etc., and get to the BJP number. But it does appear that there is a pro-incumbency sentiment now. It can be easily said for Mr. Modi. And the fact is that the India Alliance has a lot of work to do. Perhaps it made a mistake in not going in there and presenting a clear message and a unified front, because it is absolutely now clear that the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, enjoys a huge advantage in the public imagination when it comes to the national elections. He carries the BJP across the threshold, and he seems to have done it now, third election. And if that does happen, he will be, after Nehru, the only other Prime Minister to have repeated his term in office thrice consecutively. Of course, there's a huge debate about whether we should even count Mr. Nehru's first term, because it was, as you all know, appointed and did not win a mandate as such. But that's a whole different.
See, 33 seats that the BJP needs to win right now from here, not necessarily 33 seats. NDA is right now at 272, not the BJP necessarily.
Not the BJP.
But out of 180 seats, the remaining states, ladies and gentlemen, we've done about 16 states. We've got 5 states to go, and these states are not going to be easy.
So let's do the math very
There is
quickly.
also a remaining
If the
25
JDS
seats.
And
Rahul,
if
there
the-
are a remaining 25 seats out of the 543, which we've not actually gone ahead and polled or surveyed, because we've covered 518 Lok Sabha constituencies. But those numbers we will extrapolate. We will extrapolate just given the trends and how these areas will vote, because these are all very, very small groupings which have been left out of the remaining states and union territories. But that we'll come to later. We'll cross that bridge in just a bit. We also have Amitabh Tiwari with us, and we have Sanju Verma of the BJP, national spokesperson of the BJP, joining us. Namaste and Jai Hind. Thank you very, very much. Amitabh ji, quickly asking you, the gains that are expected. And in Odisha, do you believe the BJP turning the tables on the BJD?
See, in Odisha, since the past 2 elections, BJP has been making some headway. It won 1 seat in 2014, then 8, and then you are predicting 13 seats. So there is a simultaneous election which happens there, and BJD has been benefiting out of this simultaneous election, getting more seats in Vidhan Sabha as well as in Lok Sabha. So we've not seen a very split voting pattern in Odisha as yet, but this shows that there could be a split voting pattern, or there could even be trouble for Naveen Patnaik in the Vidhan Sabha elections. I mean, those numbers you don't have, we'll have to wait and see. See, what happens is when a party is pro-government or pro-central government, And if it does not form an alliance with that party, then what happens is that it sends a very confusing signal to the voters. The voters believe that a vote for BJP is similar to a vote for BJD because BJD is pro-central government, and because of the popularity of the Prime Minister in the eastern part of India, as East has been now the focus along with the southern region, it seems that the BJP is doing well. The alliance probably has fell off because conceptually number one and number two party cannot do an alliance in any state. That's why we have AAP and Congress not forming an alliance in Punjab,
Right.
CPM and Congress not forming an alliance in Kerala.
Right.
Whereas Chhattisgarh is on expected lines.
Right.
180 seats are more to go, but it seems that you have already covered most of the southern states, except for Andhra, it seems.
Yes.
So it means that the 180 seats which are going to come are not that all weak for the BJP. So there are some strong states also in those 180 seats, including the Northeast. And BJP, mind you, is the number one party in the Northeast, along with its various
महाराष्ट्र
alliance
बचा है
partners.
सर,
So we'll have
महाराष्ट्र
to wait
बचा
and
है,
see.
बंगाल बचा है,
Correct. तो एक महाराष्ट्र बचा है.
48 Maharashtra, Bengal 42. That itself is 90 seats.
Correct. So 90 is, yeah. So 90 is coming from there, and we'll have to wait and see because these could be the bellwether.
Yeah, 25
states
coming in from Andhra Pradesh
in
also.
BJP's mission for 370.
25 coming in from Andhra
And
Pradesh
Andhra
also. So these are not
BJP
going to
has
be
a new
easy.
alliance partner.
So
A
because
new old alliance party.
Yeah, Andhra BJP has a new alliance partner.
Huh.
So some seats could be added there as well, and we'll have to see Maharashtra and West Bengal.
हाँ, पुराने दोस्त जो रूट कर चले गए अब वापस आ गए. This story happens quite often, ladies and gentlemen. But yes.
So in the case of Odisha, I really would have believed these numbers had this seesaw not happened over the alliance. So the local unit of the BJP has been against this alliance because they feel that they had a good chance this time. Naveen was aging. He had appointed us, like a semi-successor sort of a person who may or may not be very popular among the people. And so they felt this was the best time for the BJP to kind of really go hammer and tongs. But I think this 370 figure and the goal of a 50% vote share across the country, that has kind of pushed the BJP into considering an alliance of this kind. And as Amitabh Tiwari said, the 1 and 2 party going into an alliance, then there are of course people who will be voting against Naveen Patnaik, who would have preferred to vote for the BJP. They might shift their vote to the third party there, which is the Congress. And that seems to have given locally, at least from what I have heard, a little bit of a fillip to the Congress saying, okay, we've been saying for a very long time that they are in bed with each other. And this is, this is when
Yes.
they have completely staged it here.
Rahul, Nalin and
Nalin,
Sanju
I
have
just
not
want to
spoken
fill you
yet.
in on this. This is an important trend now we're seeing. In the south, we're seeing the regional players, barring, of course, Tamil Nadu, ceding a little ground now to the national players. So this is a bit of a reversal happening. We haven't obviously looked at Andhra as yet, so we don't know. But in Telangana, in Karnataka, and of course in the state of Kerala, where of course the left and the Congress are historically, and the BJP is getting in. So obviously that remains a story. But and now in Orissa, you have the third party, the regional satrap, basically losing out. Is this a larger trend that we're seeing?
So I think what's happening is that we talked about this earlier in the morning, Rahul, you wrote a piece on this as well. For the last, say, 15 odd years, from the Kamandal Mandal days, is the regional satraps who kind of held sway in a large number of states, and as a Congress ceded space. What's happening now is many of the regional satraps are now towards the winter of their lives. So there is a succession issue in most of these states, and there is also an alternative issue. The BJP as a national party is far more aggressive than the Congress in its heyday in the 80s and so on. So what's happening now is that
Sorry, you finish. Make your point.
So the point I'm trying to make is that whether it's a Lalu, whether it's the Badals in Punjab, whether it's Naveen Patnaik here, barring Tamil Nadu or barring DMK, in almost every major state with a regional satrap, and that includes Mamata Banerjee too. There's a question mark over what after.
According to our survey, even the DMK is losing ground in Tamil Nadu. Let me just bring in Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, now there are three issues that the Prime Minister has been banging on with. One is Parivarvad, And obviously, the regional parties are built around very strong individuals who have, a sort of dynastic sort of bent of mind. And secondly, of course, performance. And third is the Ram issue and going back to the civilizational ethos, etc., etc. All of this seems to be working for you. Are you a bit disappointed, though, that the BJP is not careering towards that 370 mark as perhaps you might have hoped?
Rahul, without wishing to sound offensive,
No.
I remember prior to the Chhattisgarh 2023 assembly poll results coming out, every political pundit worth his salt said, Bhupesh Baghel to dobara वापस आ रहे हैं. Nobody gave us a chance in hell to form the government. And I think the BJP surprised everybody. The reason I'm, giving this example is, just to digress a little bit from your point, I was particularly excited about the Odisha numbers, where you give us 13 seats and you give the BJD 8. That is 4 down from its tally last time. Something which nobody seems to be mentioning here is that there is one thing which is very common to Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Odisha. We all know that in Chhattisgarh, tribal population is 31% of the total population. In Madhya Pradesh, that number is about 25 to 26%. The state with the third largest tribal population in India at 23% is Odisha. And about 9% of the total tribal population in India's rural and semi-urban areas comes from Odisha, particularly districts like Keonjhar or Mayurbhanj, which is where Draupadi Murmu comes from. So the first point I'm making is that the tribal vote share of the BJP is going to consolidate in a big way in favor of the Modi-led alliance. Don't forget, in 2019, we had a 65%, yes, that is the number, I did my homework, we had a 60% vote share amongst the tribal community vis-a-vis the other side, as in the combined opposition, which had vote share. So if this 69% goes up to 71 or 72%, given the phenomenal results which we saw in Madhya Pradesh despite a almost 2-decade-old anti-incumbency, at least a perceived one, and getting a 46% vote share in Chhattisgarh with 54 seats. If we have to extrapolate what we did in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh onto Odisha, I think we may not even get just 13 what you're saying. The number could actually be 15 or 16, which means Odisha will be for the BJP in 2024 what Bengal was for us in 2019.
Okay, Nalin, can I just bring you in on the piece that I wrote this morning? Exactly what I was talking about, that the BJP has evolved a superset of various rainbow sort of coalitions. They've taken in the Dalits, they've taken in the EBCs, etc. And who are they hitting most? They're hitting those parties that were estranged from the Congress, and that's the regional sort of parties. And I think that's really what we're seeing.
So the BJP has a multitude of strategies of growth. In the Northeast has been mergers and acquisitions. In UP and in Hindi heartland, it's been a policy of social engineering. They've expanded the social umbrella, added a large number of OBCs, particularly non-Yadav OBCs, with the Dalits, particularly non-Yadav Dalits. The tribal footprint of the BJP significantly increased. In several states, whether it's whether it's West Bengal, whether it's Odisha, in several states, in Bengal, for example, it grew by essentially outsiders who came into the party.
That's right. Not just that, 39% of their vote in 2019 was from the communist parties.
Yeah, absolutely. So essentially, in these states, the BJP also grew as the anti-establishment party. Right, the party of
and let's not forget,
and that's true for Telangana too in the past. But the problem for the BJP has been that in the states where it has expanded, it's gone 2 steps forward and then 1 step backwards. So Odisha is a state where it's consistently been becoming the number 2 party. And if these poll numbers hold up, it's an exact reversal of what happened last time.
Can I just quickly bring in Sanju? I wanted to ask her the big question that's coming to everybody's mind, Sanju, after these numbers. These are, of course, Lok Sabha projections. But your thoughts on the assembly, because Odisha is one of those states that goes to polls together with the Lok Sabha. So if you are saying that these numbers are even shorter to your expectations, give us a sneak peek of what you think about assembly elections in Odisha.
When it comes to assembly elections, I have to make one very pertinent point. If you remember, just prior to the Chhattisgarh assembly elections, we made, barely 1 year back, we made Arun Sao the party president in Chhattisgarh. He is obviously now the deputy CM. And we have effected a change within the organization in Odisha also. Earlier, the BJP president in Odisha was Samir Mahanti. But now we have a gentleman called Manmohan Samal. And I tell people Manmohan Samal is the Annamalai version, for the BJP in Odisha. He has excellent grassroots connection. He's young for a politician at 64. And he's somebody who also halted, the re-election of Suryavanshi Suraj from Dhamragar in 2009. And that is when he rose to fame. So I think when it comes to new states, where earlier the contest was between, say, the BJP and, maybe a Congress or any other party from the other side. But now the binary has shifted to BJP versus BJD. In Chhattisgarh, BJP versus Congress. In Telangana, BJP versus Congress when it comes to Lok Sabha. The BRS obviously is a factor only in the assembly elections. So I think that the organizational restructuring with Manmohan Samal at the helm of affairs is what is going to do the magic for us in the assembly elections and the Lok Sabha elections as well.
Well, the last time around, the story was a little different, but larger picture, ladies and gentlemen, we've got to remember this. 363 seats out of 543 that have been declared, 180 seats still to go. The more important part is the BJP and the NDA going to return a better number than 2019? Is it going to fall short of the expectations or the benchmark set by the captain of the ship, that is Prime Minister Narendra Modi, with respect to 400 par for the NDA and 370 par for the BJP? And if yes, then by how much? Because falling short is all right. But if they're doing better than 2019, then the opposition has some serious worries. 180 seats, of which we counted 90 from two states, that is Maharashtra and Bengal. Add to that the state of Andhra Pradesh, and we go more than 100 seats. More than 100 seats, 115 seats actually, if you were to see, from states where the BJP will be a little worried, because there is a tussle, there is a regional satrap, there has been mixes, and you've stitched alliances. As of now, do you see the BJP and the NDA comfortably positioned to do better than 2019? Quickly doing this, Javed ji, starting with you. Or where do you think is the problem?
Look, that's the $1 million question. Will they not just do better than 2019, but will they get to 370? We can quibble about the numbers, but there's no sane person will bet against the BJP winning this election.
INDI alliance is at 71. Does that worry you?
Because the Prime Minister said 370 as a benchmark.
Let's look at the opposition.
Yes,
10 years in power, and you have no signs of income.
But this is what happened in Bengal too, right? They did very well in Bengal, but not what they projected.
No, but that's
so it
fine.
almost became
This
a
is
loss.
not a losing cause, Shivani. This is a winning cause. I mean, right now, the BJP is probably short of, individually, of 272 by what? About a dozen?
No. See, it's not about the other question, the flip side of this. Congress less than 40, if the India alliance is at 71 right now, is that a worry? Less than 50 seats for the Congress party. That means there is no solid opposition in parliament.
Assuming that they get 70, even then what kind of an opposition will that be? If the BJP is getting 370 or plus 370 or thereabouts, what kind of
is that a statement of the BJP's performance or the opposition's non-performance? Largely absent from this conversation so far. We will try and get him in. But yes, Nistula, you're saying something.
See, I wanted to answer the question that you had put the first time to Javed ji about where will they hit it out of the ballpark the way Prime Minister wants. I would like to kind of quote back what Amit Shah had told me in the 2019 election when he was party president and I had interviewed him. And he said, wherever you're looking for an election, that is not where the election's at. I had chosen some 113 seats where we've never won or we've come second, and I worked hard. He said, you were there with me in Telangana. I said, yes, the first time that you started from Nalgonda. He said, you'll see the election is there. And they actually won nearly 80 out of those 113 vulnerable seats that he had identified, which is why their tally went up.
Yes.
So now, the 370 has to come from places where they have not maxed out.
Well,
so the states you should be looking at is West Bengal, Odisha,
Maharashtra.
and no, Maharashtra they had maxed out, but Maharashtra is in trouble now because it's an election. which is
Maharashtra,
from
they have
ground
not
zero.
maxed out because Maharashtra, they maxed out when they were in conjunction with the Shiv Sena.
Right, but
Now
this
they
is
have not
also an
maxed.
election like no
Maharashtra,
other
the
for
BJP out of
Maharashtra. They've
48
never had
contested only
6 parties in
25
the
last
fray.
time. This time around, are they going to contest 30? And what will be the wins in this new Samikaran? Those 48 are very crucial.
So those are the states that you need to.
And of
win.
course, Bengal. Of
Even
course,
without
Bengal.
Maharashtra, Anand, the BJP is about 12 short. I mean, let's put this in perspective. When was the last time a prime minister came back for the third time consecutively? Nehru.
Nehru, yeah. Jawaharlal.
I mean, where is the
fact of the
debate
matter
here?
is,
No, that's
with
not
this
the
election
debate.
result, if this election, and as Javed said, no sane person would kind of bet against this result. The only question is, what is
How
the
much,
margin,
yeah.
right? Whether it's 300 or 370, you know, what's
310
between that?
or 370 के बीच में
that
लड़
is the
रहे हैं.
debate,
That's
right?
the fight.
No, the quality of the victory is the debate. Now, listen
Right.
to this statistic
So,
which I
but the
began
point
by
I'm
saying.
trying to make
Listen to
now-
this. BJP won
Yeah.
224
Third-
seats with 50% plus vote share in 2019, 88 more than 2014. If it wins another 50 of these, 88, you see where the number is going to be.
Correct.
Rahul,
It's
fact
not just the,
matter
the quality
fact
of the
matter
victory.
is that after 2 terms, if you win a victory like this,
Yes.
the Prime Minister Modi, after 3 terms, will end up as the Prime Minister who's had the largest number of years as Prime Minister after Nehru. Nehru
Right.
ended at 16
Right,
years
right.
plus.
And an
Shivaji
upper
Gandhi
house.
had 15 years,
And
but
an
only
upper
11
house.
of them were contiguous.
And Nalin, an upper house where the numbers will dramatically change because guess who's losing out?
So that
Very
is why the
quickly,
first 100
BRS,
days after Lok Sabha
BJP,
2024
and the-
results,
I want to
May
make a deeper point
2024,
here. A deeper
will
point
be
I want to
very
make
interesting. Yes,
Very
quickly,
quickly, just
Shivanya.
wanted to add because Sanju Verma made that point about the tribal population in Odisha. So this is the chart from 2019 Lok Sabha elections. These are tribal dominated seats, 6 of them out of the 21. The BJP had actually won half of them. They have a vote share about 34, BJD 2 and Congress was 1. So this time around, it will be interesting to see if the factor she says is one of the big factors in Odisha and the popularity because of, you know, the tribal president and things like that, then they should
I
be
think the
sweeping these
popularity
seats.
that will translate in terms of whatever breakups and you were saying is the Labharti factor. The benefits accruing because of the schemes, the welfare schemes reaching right down to the grassroots. The numbers have been put out by Rahul Shivshankar, Nalin Mehta, BJP spokespersons, and largely by the people who have benefited. If they come back and pay him back, saying thank you for doing what you've done for us, then these numbers should hold or if not get better. And then the larger question is it these subgroupings that we should look at? Or should we look at it all in a combine to say this is welfare for all, and that's why the person who's provided that welfare wins it all, ladies and gentlemen. Going to take a short break. The halfway mark, 272, has been reached. The 3 states that are very important, that account for nearly 115 of 180 seats remaining. Coming up next, one of the critical states is Andhra Pradesh, but that rocket of the NDA is flying, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. We'll be right back with the Andhra numbers. India on course, 61 seats it needs to get to 272, the halfway mark. Let's look at Rajasthan. 25 seats in the state of Rajasthan, all 25 going to the NDA. The BJP. Back on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll, ladies and gentlemen, so far 331 seats, 249 to the NDA. They are within striking distance. 23 seats they need more to cross that halfway number of 272. PM Modi may have set the benchmark very high, but in that race to the parliament and into governance, 272 is the halfway mark. 543 seats in the Lok Sabha. If the NDA crosses 272 even before all the seats are declared, then are they on course to go at least 330 par? Let's try and see where it is. Where will they end on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll? 331 out of 543 seats have been declared. So there are still about 200 plus seats to go, ladies and gentlemen. So that means 212 seats to go. So is that possible? What do you think could be the final number? Stay with us. Let's bring in the next state in the mix, even as our guests are with us. Shivani Gupta with me here on the Magic Wall and Rahul Shivshankar on the consulting editor's chair. The state of Odisha, ladies and gentlemen. Will they shake hands? Will they say, chalo, bhai bhai mein no ladai? We'll have to wait and watch the BJD and the BJP. But it is 21 seats. The BJP will take 13. 8 to the BJD. So 13 more get added to the NDA kitty courtesy the BJP. Is this big gains for the BJP compared to the last time around where they had less than 10 seats? That's the big story, ladies and gentlemen. Is there a shift away from the BJD towards the BJP, and is this the future course? Remember, Odisha votes simultaneously for the Vidhan Sabha and the Lok Sabha. What's going to happen there? Will they all say, bhai bhai mein no ladai? Vote share. 40, 43, 15 and 2. 43% vote share for the BJP when it comes to the Lok Sabha election. Does that translate to any gains for them in the Vidhan Sabha? We'll have to wait and watch. Highly unlikely. There they believe Naveen Babu is the right person and they trust the BJD, the ODA, popular, the voters. But when it comes to Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the ticket, Lok Sabha, it is the BJP that they depend on, and that means a 43% vote share will give them a very rich return of 13 seats. And that clearly is more, because my memory serves me right, the BJP last time around had less than 10 seats. So that means there are gains here. What does that mean? Let's get into Chhattisgarh quickly. Let's understand Chhattisgarh is the magic 272 number, getting up with the Chhattisgarh numbers. 11 seats. 11 seats and the BJP taking 10. Straight fight between BJP and the Congress is flattened out, and that's the big news. Here on the News 18 mega opinion poll, 363 out of 543, the NDA touches the halfway mark. 272 for the NDA. That's the big headline right now, with the BJP taking 10 out of the 11 Chhattisgarh seats. Big gains, and with nearly 180 seats still to be declared. 180 seats still to be declared. 16 states announced, 5 seats left. 180 seats still to go. The NDA has crossed the halfway mark. Halfway mark, ladies and gentlemen. Back on, ladies and gentlemen, with the News 18 mega opinion poll. We've got to tell you, this is a mega opinion poll. The News 18 poll hub has gone to 518 Lok Sabha constituencies and got you the details. We will also extrapolate the balance 25 seats and give you the final projections. But these are opinion polls. And if we get it right, we'll take the credit. If we don't, then blame the News 18 poll hub. But that's in jest. This is just an indication, ladies and gentlemen. This poll was conducted in February 2024. The elections are going to be, or the polls are going to be between April and May 2024. A lot can change. Lot of momentum can be gained by the NDA and the BJP, or perhaps there can be a shift towards the INDIA and the opposition. We have to wait and watch. But right now, this is the biggest testament or perhaps sampling of the Janta ke Man ki Baat. Bharat ki Janta ke Man ki Baat. It's perhaps the biggest sampling that can be done. 118,000 plus respondents, 218 respondents for every Lok Sabha constituency. For every Lok Sabha seat, at least 3 Vidhan Sabha constituencies have been polled or have been surveyed. And these Vidhan Sabha constituencies have been picked up by a random sampling. We are proud of this effort because it's a gargantuan effort. Preceding this 118,000, there was a sampling of 3.5 done in November. So before and after Ramlala, a lot of impacts have happened. 2023 to 2024, in a span of 2-3 months, a lot has happened. And even this today, day 2, 16 states so far. Day 1, 9 states, so far 7 states in this continuous broadcast here at CNN News 18 and across the News 18 network. The next number to be shown is another state of the South. the only state of the south that remains, and that is Andhra Pradesh. So far, the NDA is right at the halfway mark. What happens with Andhra Pradesh? Let's understand. What are the numbers? YSRCP 7 seats out of 25. The NDA now with TDP and Pawan Kalyan's Janasena coming together with the BJP, 18 seats. No seat for the Congress party in Andhra Pradesh. No seat for the Congress or the INDI alliance in Andhra Pradesh. It's between the NDA and YSRCP, and this coming together, BJP, Chandrababu Naidu's TDP and Pawan Kalyan's Janasena is translating into a 50% vote share for the NDA, 9% more than the YSRCP. And if it's a straight race it's a two-horse race, the first to get past 50% vote share invariably takes most of the seats, and that's what we are seeing, ladies and gentlemen, that 18 out of the 25 are going to the NDA. Rahul Shivshankar,
so the magic of 2014 recreated.
Yes.
Except at that time, of course, the Janasena was a little outside of the alliance, giving it tacit support. At that time, it was BJP and TDP, so that's come together. But what this shows, worryingly for Jagan, is that his Dalit vote bank has left him. If you look at Jagan's cabinet, for example, it's very interesting. 66% of the cabinet berths were given to SC, STs, a little proportion of that to OBCs, and of course, you had the minorities. And that's the key, the retention of that. And that
we have to say, Rahul, that Andhra is also voting simultaneously. Vidhan Sabha and Lok Sabha simultaneously, but Lok Sabha, the picture last time around, Shivani,
interestingly, last time is the only comparison we can make, because 2014 Lok Sabha elections were undivided Andhra Pradesh. It was after those general elections that Andhra Pradesh and Telangana were divided. So these are 2019 results. This is the only result we can go for. And look at the reversal that is taking place. So YSRCP is losing 15 and coming down to 7 according to our opinion poll. The NDA, which is the alliance of the TDP and the Pawan Kalyan and the BJP, which was not the case in 2019, is actually going up by 15 to 18. Very quickly, just want to show you that the NDA numbers that you see, 3, these yellow seats, is actually all TDP. The BJP did not win anything in 2020.
So the TDP was brought down and it was shown its place, and Chandrababu Naidu was given a nice rap on the knuckles. He made the wrong call. Have they learned that? Have they learned their lessons? We'll have to wait and watch, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, quickly, before we go back to our guests and get them to think about and dwell upon Andhra Pradesh, we have to do one more state. Let's look at the state of Jharkhand. Let's try and understand how Jharkhand is going to score. This time around in the News18 mega opinion poll, Jharkhand will be accounting for 14 Lok Sabha seats. In Jharkhand, the NDA taking 12. NDA taking 12, INDI alliance 2. That means the NDA is 300 par, 302 out of 18 states, and 302 for the NDA with 12 seats from Jharkhand. 272 plus 18 plus 12, and they are par 300. They are at 302 seats, the NDA overall. Jharkhand 14 seats, the NDA getting 58% vote share. INDIA 32% vote share, others taking 10%. So clearly the BJP stealing a march, going up to about 60% vote share, ladies and gentlemen. And if you look at the overall score, it is already 300 par for the NDA. Big gains for the NDA, comfortably placed at this point. We've taken 25 seats of Andhra Pradesh, 14 seats of Jharkhand. So 39 seats have been added to the previous tally of 331. We'll put out the overall score, the total number of seats out of 543. We still have some big states to go. We still have more than 100 seats to account for. But these seats, what they are doing, ladies and gentlemen, are taking the NDA to the 302 score of the BJP already. 300 par to ho gaye. 400 par honge ki nahi is the big question. Let's look at it. How does it stand out right now? As we open it up for our viewers, there you go, drop down, and here it opens. The entire arc And this is the halfway mark of 272, 302, 402 out of 543 seats. And out of those 402, 302 are with the NDA, way past the halfway mark, comfortable. Alliance at 73, struggling to get to the 100 number. 27 others. That grouping is also getting sizable and it's getting bigger. Worry for the INDI alliance that this sizing is also getting thicker. Which way will that lean? Could depend. But does it matter for this grouping? 302 already, 402 out of 543 seats. So 101 seats to go. What's going to be the score? That's going to be very, very important. 141 seats, beg your pardon. 141 seats to go. Let's go across to our guests. These numbers, do they surprise you? Tehseen Poonawala, he's going very fast on the computer. किसी भी तरह से इसको नंबर को घुमा नहीं सकते सर, ये तो पार हो गया.
Total reversal.
Anand, again, I have a lot of respect, but if elections were won on numbers like these, and why even have elections? This afternoon, I was on another channel, just slightly diverting, but the anchor kept interrupting me and said, "Oh, but how, we can't spend so much money on elections." So I told him very politely, "Election nahi kyun karate? WhatsApp pe kara do, or we know who can be prime minister." See, I'm in opposition. I don't support the BJP. It is my duty to find faults. I still stand to my gun. Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Telangana, and even Andhra. These numbers don't add up. I respect your poll. I think they don't add up. I think the Karnataka, the BJP won't get as much as it will. I don't think it's getting that in Telangana. I think the numbers are flipped in Telangana. They're definitely not getting in Tamil Nadu. I can't see how they get it. And even in Andhra, I think you have a little bit of surprise. I'm not saying Congress is winning Andhra Pradesh. I'm not going to say that. Though Prashant Kishore said that Congress is winning Andhra Pradesh in the state assembly. But these numbers simply don't add up. The maths doesn't add up. The chemistry doesn't add up.
Sir, this is 218 respondents.
There has been
218 respondents. Javed Ansari and Lalit Mehta want to say something.
So it does add up.
You can quibble about the numbers, but the larger picture is that the BJP is winning and winning well. I have my doubts as far as Kerala, as far as Tamil Nadu, as far as Telangana are concerned. But that's.
But in Andhra Pradesh, Javed sir, you agree with the numbers, with the TDP coming back, with the BJP?
Yes, it has given them a distinct edge. But the question is, what happens to Jagan? I mean, what wrong did he do? For 5 years, he had this government, went out of his way, and now suddenly he's been left high and dry. So what does it say for how the BJP treats its allies?
The debate is to your left and right. Yes.
It's not a question of how the BJP treats its allies. The BJP cannot ally with Jagan Mohan Reddy. There's a large swath of people in the Sangh Parivar who will not condone this thing due to religious reasons and the kind of politics that BJP plays in that state. They can take the support in the legislative matters in Rajya Sabha, etc. But they have definite issues with Jagan Mohan Reddy. Having said that, Naidu has said all sorts of things about Prime Minister Modi when he left in 2018. What he found out very quickly was that the Congress's vote bank and his Kamma vote bank are mutually antithetical. They can never, ever, ever vote together. He got out of that, got into all sorts of, legal trouble. His party workers were being beaten and, his party offices were being attacked. And I remember he gave me an interview in 2021 where for the first time he said on record saying that I want to get back into the NDA. At that time, I had spoken to somebody in the BJP very high up who had said that this is a call that will be taken closer to the election if we see that we have something to gain from it. So now after Naidu's arrest, there is a feeling that he might be getting some sympathy votes in Andhra Pradesh, and that Kamma vote bank, even if it's not even if Naidu is not in a position to fully get them, they're not coming to the BJP. So whatever they have to get, they have to get it to Naidu.
And the Reddys. Kamma, Kapu and the Reddys. So,
yes.
And the Dalits, of course, which are a very, very significant part
but
of
I have an issue with the numbers.
But just one second. It's very interesting because, I think, Javed bhai, you made the point that what is Jagan done wrong to deserve this? Now, just ask his sister. She is the known unknown here. She has gone in with the Congress. Remember that her deciding to sort of keep out of the poll fray in Telangana helped the Congress. So she has, at least in the neighboring states, some influence. We don't know how that is going to play out for the Congress in Andhra Pradesh. But fundamentally, we constantly beat Mr. Modi on the head. Now, I'm not trying to be some sort of a cheerleader, etc., etc. I'm just looking at some records. on this issue of squeezing the opposition out through all sorts of, cases, etc. You just look at what has been happening in Andhra Pradesh for a while now. And you just have to ask, in fact, what Minister is saying is not wrong. A large number of people there have been building this campaign on the line that there is a tyrant sitting in the Vidhan Sabha. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. It might be sticking. And of course, look, there are castes at play. The reason the BJP went back to both the TDP or whoever came back and signed up this alliance is for a caste reason. And you have to then begin to ask.
Sir, in Andhra Pradesh, there is a 23% Kapu community which has no representation, has not been spoken to yet.
And
So, but the Khamma is everybody is in the mix there.
I want to make a point here. What we can quibble over the exactitude of the numbers and so on, and this is a poll. Fact of the matter is, the BJP is the hungriest political party in India today. The fact of the matter is that it's maintaining what the numbers are showing, its dominance in its old cold areas. In fact, in the Hindi heartland, with the numbers we saw yesterday, the strike rate seems to be higher than what it was in 2019, which almost seemed impossible. How can you go higher than
from the studio outside to those who are not in studio? Quickly, Sanju Verma and Amitabh Tiwari. Yes, Sanju.
I think one thing which people are not taking cognizance of is the fact that in a state like Andhra Pradesh, while last time it was undivided Andhra, so the comparison may not be absolutely apple to apple. Each time you cross a vote share of 48 or 49% and you're giving the NDA 50%, by that logic, we are not going to be curtailed at 18 alone, and you're giving Jagan Mohan Reddy's party 7 seats. If we are going to cross 49% vote share, then BJP is going to romp home. I mean, the NDA is going to romp home with at least 23 or 24 seats, because there are some states, be it Gujarat, be it Haryana, be it Andhra Pradesh or Jharkhand. Once you cross that 49-50% mark, then you take everything that is up for the asking. That is my point number one. And my point number two is, Tehseen made a point that, he doesn't believe in the BJP tally when it comes to Karnataka, Telangana, what have you. As he said, he is duty bound to defend the Congress. But let me say one thing. In Telangana, in Lok Sabha 2019, our vote share was sub 20%, Rahul. Despite a sub 20% vote share, we managed to get 4 seats. And the Congress had a vote share of almost 30% and they were still curtailed at 2 seats. So I go back to my most famous argument, which I repeat, again and again whenever I'm on these kind of number crunching shows. The Congress's Achilles heel is basically the inability to translate vote share into winnable seats. And please understand, I will end in 10 seconds. Last time, even if you look at the 2019 Jharkhand Lok Sabha elections, BJP had a 56% vote share and we got 12 seats. The Congress had almost a 35% vote share, but they still managed only 2 seats. With a 35% vote share, you're getting only 2 seats, which means you're not able to convert your vote share into votes, and that is where the BJP and NDA is going to score big time again in 2024.
The big takeaway, and I want to bounce this back off everyone here. The big takeaway is that the BJP seems to be expanding in regions where it wasn't really a presence. Yeah. And I think, Naren, what do you make of that?
If I can ask, if you can bring in Amitabh Tiwari and then bring it back into the studio. Amitabh Tiwari, how much of this is the Labhati factor? How much of this is getting old friends becoming, allies again, old allies becoming friends again? How much of it is that?
See, it's a combination of both. Both plus the leadership factor of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Beneficiaries are turning up in larger numbers to vote for the BJP election after election. And of course, the Southern Territory was a tricky territory for the BJP, and they have, or rather TDP has made a ghar wapsi of sorts into the NDA. If you see the Andhra numbers, YSRCP is primarily getting damaged by the Congress party. Congress party, because of the reinduction of, or rather the induction of Sharmila, is gaining 5% vote share from 1% to 6%. And this is the vote share, the SC, ST and OBC vote share, which Congress is pulling. So Congress is damaging YSRCP here, and also the fact that YSRCP has adopted a pro-NDA stance seems to have also minority vote bank.
Amitabh, can I just come in here?
there has always been a
Very quickly, I want to understand from you, like if we were to talk about how the BJP is expanding, just shooting off from what Rahul was trying to make, the point that he was trying to make, if we were to say that the BJP is actually expanding in areas where they didn't have seats or that much vote share, how much of these 18 seats that we are projecting are coming to the BJP or the TDP, we don't quite know. Now, TDP has always been the bigger player in Andhra Pradesh. Even this time around, they're contesting 17 seats and BJP is only contesting 6 seats. What is the fortunes of the BJP you see as far as seats are concerned? They won 2 in 2014. Mind you, that was undivided Andhra Pradesh, where the TDP and the BJP again did well over YSRCP. But of course, we know what happened last time around. So, is the BJP winning seats in Andhra Pradesh?
No, see, it is winning seats in Andhra Pradesh because of the alliance with TDP. However, it is there for a long-term gain, because it sees that Chandrababu Naidu is perhaps in his last election and his son is perhaps not enjoys the same charisma as many other sons of regional parties, politicians do. And that is where the BJP sees an opening in Andhra Pradesh, trying to or attempting to co-opt TDP and its voters in a longer term basis.
Well, so that's the long-term strategy. Yes, let's bring it back into the studio. BJP expanding its footprint, and what's the factors? What are the
They've
factors?
been trying to expand their footprint into Andhra a long time. They've got a Kapu state president, that didn't work. They tried to get in with the Kamma votes, saying that look, your guy is en route to his sunset. You better align with us. And there are a lot of photo ops that Amit Shah also had with a lot of these big Kamma people in the Kamma ecosystem. That hasn't worked. I think for this election, certainly they have decided to swallow their pride and said, okay, we will get in again through these people once more with feeling. And this time they will again try to cannibalize.
But the reality in Andhra politics, Rahul, is the fact that TDP is not going to let this go. BJP thinks it can cannibalize and piggy bank on the TDP. TDP will now, for the next 5 years, try and use whatever they grew out of this alliance to claw their way back into the regional politics. And that we'll see the Vidhan Sabha results.
Exactly. I was just coming to that. That we'll know, of course, in the Vidhan Sabha elections. But just look at the way, if this result begins to hold, Nalin, just look at the way politics is changing if this comes true in two months. You have the BJP in ascendancy in the Lok Sabha. You have then all these opposition parties that could at least pose some sort of a challenge to the BJP in legislation in the Rajya Sabha disappearing. You have the NDA now getting close to a majority, perhaps even a majority in the Rajya Sabha. This makes it, well, I'm saying this will consolidate.
At a larger level, if the 2019 mandate was a pro-incumbency mandate for Narendra Modi, the 2024 mandate, if these numbers hold, is fundamentally going to cement the complete change in the polity that Narendra Modi has heralded. The center has moved significantly to the right. What was unthinkable earlier, what was unsayable earlier, is at the center of the political discourse. Look at what has happened with the Ram Temple. Now, so there is a cultural and a deeper political matrix.
There is a conservatism taking place, taking root in Indian politics. But the fundamental thing
I would argue is not even conservative. I would argue that how Mr. Modi has kind of positioned it is as a civilizational repositioning.
Okay.
So but the other point I want to make is that you are also entering a new era where a lot of the certitudes of many of the state politics, those are changing, because most of the satraps who were in power, they are at the end of their political careers.
Exactly.
So over the next 5, 6, 10 years, who's going to replace them?
Twilight mode, sunset mode
seems
for
to be the
some
one
of
that's getting
them.
in.
But quickly, 2 minutes here before we got to take a break. Let's reflect on Jharkhand.
Jharkhand, the numbers are the same as last time around as far as the seats are concerned, but there's a 3% vote share bump for the BJP.
Vote share bump for the BJP. Tehseen Poonawalla, would you like to say something about Jharkhand? What's happening there? Congress is supposed to be
agree with that.
They're in power in alliance with the Sorens, right?
No, the Jharkhand numbers, I will not comment too much on. The Hindi heartland and
the capture this moment.
I
It's all being captured.
The
It's
Hindi
live
heartland,
broadcast
the
everywhere.
Hindi heartland is where, and again the north and the east is where the BJP is strong. So you can't.
Why?
You can't. I think what the BJP has managed to do is not just hold its grounds, as your data rightly showed yesterday. Their strike rate is better than what it was in 2019. And I keep telling this to Congress supporters in particular. I'll just come to that. I keep telling Congress supporters that while I don't believe in this election, these are the states where the BJP is going to gain. It does not mean it won't gain in the next 10 years. In my lifetime, 15 years ago, who would have thought BJP would be the government in Assam, or would be in government 10 years ago or 12 years ago in Haryana? And here they are, the second largest party in Odisha and West Bengal. So the BJP is gaining new grounds. The opposition cannot hold on to its ground.
Why are they winning in the north?
I think there's a combination of factors. The combination of factors is the inability primarily of the opposition parties to get the pulse of the voters. You cannot call voters gobar worshippers, cow worshippers, rakshas, gaumutra drinkers. You have to respect it. If the Congress hypothetically...
So there's no work involved. It's only because of the fact that there's a backlash.
No, I'm talking from the opposition point of view.
Yeah,
there may be some work that the government does. No, not
some
all
work.
government is
Okay,
bad.
even if
not
it is
all
some
government
work,
is
which
bad.
it
But
is
there is a lot of,
recognized.
just since you brought it up, but against that some work, there's a lot of suffering that this government has brought upon to people
So
in the north.
we've got to take a break here on television, but we will try and see if we can cast the argument even into the break on our YouTube feed, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a heated one. And there are three people sitting there who have written down how the indices, social indices of the people, especially in the Bimaru states, in the rural areas, across the length and breadth of the country, but largely in North India, have gone up in the last 10 years, ladies and gentlemen, which had not happened in the previous times of the opposition. Is that a reflection why these numbers are favoring the Prime Minister-led BJP? That's the big question. When we come back after the break, ladies and gentlemen, it's yet another big state. It's yet another big state that we're going to talk about. As of now, the rocket is flying past the 300 number for the BJP. We've got you Jharkhand, we've got you Andhra Pradesh. When we come back, there are 2-3 big states that are left. They will hog the conversation all along. And that includes the state of Bengal. Stay with us. Back on the News 18 mega opinion poll, ladies and gentlemen. So far, 331 seats, 249 to the NDA. They are within striking distance. 23 seats they need more to cross that halfway number of 272. PM Modi may have set the benchmark very high, but in that race to the parliament and into governance, 272 is the halfway mark. 543 seats in the Lok Sabha. If the NDA crosses 272 even before all the seats are declared, then are they on course to go at least 330 par? Let's try and see where it is. Where will they end on the News 18 mega opinion poll? 331 out of 543 seats have been declared. So there are still about 200 plus seats to go, ladies and gentlemen. So that means 212 seats to go. So is that possible? What do you think could be the final number? Stay with us. Let's bring in the next state in the mix, even as our guests are with us. Shivani Gupta with me here on the Magic Wall and Rahul Shivshankar on the consulting editor's chair. The state of Odisha, ladies and gentlemen. Will they shake hands? Will they say, chalo, bhai mein no ladai? We'll have to wait and watch the BJD and the BJP. But it is 21 seats. The BJP will take 13. 8 to the BJD. So 13 more get added to the NDA kitty courtesy the BJP. Is this big gains for the BJP compared to the last time around where they had less than 10 seats? That's the big story, ladies and gentlemen. Is there a shift away from the BJD towards the BJP, and is this the future course? Remember, Odisha votes simultaneously for the Vidhan Sabha and the Lok Sabha. What's going to happen there? Will they all say, bhai mein no ladai? Vote share. 40, 43, 15 and 2. 43% vote share for the BJP when it comes to the Lok Sabha election. Does that translate to any gains for them in the Vidhan Sabha? We'll have to wait and watch. Highly unlikely. There they believe Naveen Babu is the right person and they trust the BJD, the ODR, popular, the voters But when it comes to Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the ticket, Lok Sabha, it is the BJP that they depend on, and that means a 43% vote share will give them a very rich return of 13 seats. And that clearly is more, because my memory serves me right, the BJP last time around had less than 10 seats. So that means there are gains here. What does that mean? Let's get into Chhattisgarh quickly. Let's understand Chhattisgarh is the magic 272 number, getting up with the Chhattisgarh numbers. 11 seats. 11 seats and the BJP taking 10. Straight fight between BJP and the Congress is flattened out, and that's the big news. Here on the News 18 mega opinion poll, 363 out of 543, the NDA touches the halfway mark. 272 for the NDA. That's the big headline right now, with the BJP taking 10 out of the 11 Chhattisgarh seats. Big gains, and with nearly 180 seats still to be declared. 180 seats still to be declared. 16 states announced, 5 states left. 180 seats still to go. The NDA has crossed the halfway mark. Halfway mark, ladies and gentlemen. 272 for the NDA on the News 18 mega opinion poll. That means with 180 seats still to go, 180 seats baki hai. You can see the bottom of the screen. Back on, ladies and gentlemen, on the News 18 mega opinion poll, and we've just got a few more states to go. It's 302 and still counting for the NDA out of a total of 402 seats that we've declared so far out of 543. The News 18 mega opinion poll went to 518 Lok Sabha constituencies. So the remaining 25, we will extrapolate based on the trends and we'll give you the final numbers. But we're going to make a slight departure. Before we set up the next state, the conversation point politically throughout the country today is the CAA, the rules notification to the CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. Union Home Minister Amit Shah sat down and spoke to ANI and cleared the air while taking the opposition to task on what he alleged is open, brazen misinformation and vote bank politics. Listen it.
इस देश के अल्पसंख्यक माइनॉरिटीज या तो किसी और व्यक्ति को डरने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि सीएए में किसी की नागरिकता लेने का प्रावधान ही नहीं है। सीएए का कानून कभी वापस नहीं जाएगा और भारत की नागरिकता सुनिश्चित करना ये भारत का विषय है, भारत की संप्रभुता का निर्णय है। इसके साथ हम कोई कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं कर सकते। जब विभाजन हुआ तब पाकिस्तान में 23% हिंदू थे, हिंदू और सिख थे। आज 3.7% बच गए। कहां गए सारे? इतने सारे तो यहां आए नहीं। धर्म परिवर्तन हुआ, अपमानित किया गया, दोयम दर्जे के नागरिक के नाते इनको रखा गया। कहां जाएंगे ये लोग?
It's about giving citizenship who came, who fled the neighborhood post-partition, and they continue to flee because of persecution. They are persecuted minorities and they have nowhere else to go but come to Bharat. It is about giving them citizenship. They were here in Bharat on or before the 31st of December 2014. What's the problem? Here's what he had to say about some of the opposition leaders and the voices and what they have been saying. This includes Mamata Banerjee and Arvind Kejriwal.
ममता जी को शरणार्थी और घुसपैठिए दो शब्द के बीच का अंतर ही मालूम नहीं है। दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री अपने भ्रष्टाचार के उजागर होने से अपना आपा खो बैठे हैं। 2014 तक जो आ गए इनको नागरिकता देनी है और इतनी ही चिंता है तो वो क्यों बांग्लादेशी घुसपैठियों की बात नहीं करते हैं? रोहिंग्यास का विरोध क्यों नहीं करते हैं? इस विषय पर राहुल जी से एक बार चर्चा करके डिटेल पूछ लो। कमरे में बैठकर आपको इंटरव्यू करे सीएए पर और समझाए, जो वो बोल रहे हैं वो इतना समझा दे जनता को।
So, we've got Smita Prakash of ANI with us. Nalin Mehta with us in the studio. We should have our guest joining us very, very soon. Dr. Anand Ranganathan should be with us. Priyanka Tibrewal, Professor Manojit Mandal, Swapan Das Gupta. Everybody will be joining us. But let's ask the person who conducted the interview. Did he convince you, Smita Prakash?
Convince me, I guess, as a journo, I'm always skeptical, not too sure about what a politician says. But yeah, I mean, I did feel that even the last time that there were these, there was a lot of misinformation. There was, and the messaging was not on time as far as the BJP is concerned. So as a result of that, we saw these street protests happening. Whether it was deliberately fueled by political parties, what it achieved. But this time it seems like the BJP is on the front foot. They don't want this disinformation about CAA to go forward. So I think he was pretty convincing in what he said. So I tried to pin him down whether, you know, on what all the allegations are from Mamata Banerjee, from Arvind Kejriwal, from Rahul Gandhi, from Owaisi, all of them. And he had a reply to all of them. He didn't fudge his answers.
He didn't fudge his answers. Zaka Jacob on the magic wall. Is that going to impact Bengal is the question in the next 10 minutes. Actually, 11 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. We'll put out the Bengal numbers here on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll. Rahul Shivshankar, Nalin Mehta with us. But Priyanka Tibrewal and Professor Manojit Mandal also with us. Namaste and Jai Hind. Professor Manojit Mandal, what's the problem with giving citizenship to people who are here in Bharat already? And that too, almost 10 years ago. If not more.
What is the procedure? What is the procedure, Mr. Anand Narasimhan? The procedure is you treat them first as Indian or refugee or persecuted, and then you give them citizenship. I think you have read the procedure laid down in these rules. And this is something that nobody can accept. The people of Assam, 12 lakhs Hindus, how are you going to convince them about the fact that they are not Indian first? Whereas most of them were Indian. I'm talking about the people who are now termed as D-voter. Forget about any other state. I would ask you and your team to go to Assam and convince the people who are languishing in the detention camp or termed as D-voters, 12 lakh Hindus, forget about the other Hindus, convince them that prove that you are persecuted. You came prior to 1971, many of them might have lost their documents, and now they need to prove themselves as persecuted. Bangladeshi, once again, they will lose their Aadhaar card, they lose their voter identity card, they lose their ration card, and then they would say that they are Bangladeshi citizens to apply for Indian citizenship. I am challenging this government through you to go to Assam and convince these 12 lakh Hindus that please apply for Indian citizenship through this law. If this happens, I will withdraw my words.
Well,
Professor Mandal, forget about CAA, whether it happens or not happens. We conducted this poll and we're going to reveal the Bengal numbers in about 5-7 minutes from now. This poll was conducted. One second. Hear me out. This poll was conducted before the notification of CAA, and the numbers, when we reveal it in about 7 or 8 minutes from now, will absolutely befuddle you, because this is something that is going to make you sit up and take notice without the CAA. Like I said, this whole survey happened in January and February when there was no question of notification of CAA. Without the notification of CAA, the numbers in itself will be so staggering that you will have to, you'll have to find some explanation for it. But anyway, we'll do another survey in March and April and figure out the impact
other
of CAA.
aspect is Priyanka Tibrewal, Manojit Mandal is saying 17 lakh Hindus in detention camps, etc. The BJP largely is saying it's about 30,000 people on or before 31st of December 2014. Where is this whole conversation happening from? Priyanka Tibrewal, please answer. Manojit Mandal.
Listen, whatever Mr. Mandal is saying, everything is in the air. Whatever he is saying, nothing will turn out to be true.
Then what is the truth? Why is there so much of apprehension with CAA 2019 if there is not a big deal about it at all?
Not at all. Now it is very clear on the ground. People are happy. People are celebrating in West Bengal. See, look at the people from Bandha. Look at the people from various parts of
the Matua Samaj from various parts in Bengal. They are all celebrating, they are dancing to the tune. They are enjoying because after so many years, that what was promised to them has come out to be true. And once again, ये मोदी की guarantee थी. Whatever Modi says, Modi does. Unlike the other Congress or the other governments which have been here, and also TNC, see whatever TNC has said.
पीएम मोदी की गारंटी तो 2020 में ही पार्लियामेंट द्वारा रेटिफाई हो गई थी. So why March 2024? Nalin Mehta and Rahul Shivshankar. Why wait till March 2024? If it is only about 30,000 people, and how much of a poll impact will it make? Then why wait for such a long time?
A significant part of this has to do with politics. I mean, fundamentally, the CAA is also a political move. There is an ideological positioning behind it, which is at the core of the BJP's positioning to its core audiences. The CAA, when it, you remember the debate around the CAA that happened. There was also an issue in Assam. At that point, there was an issue about the census and all of that. So now, what the BJP is going into the election saying is, we had core promises. There was a Ram temple. We have given you a Ram temple. There was a thing. There was a whole thing of 370. We've removed 370. Uniform civil code was one of our other promises. There is already was triple talaq being removed. Some part of it happened. Other states are now doing a uniform civil code of some kind of some kind or the other. CAA was another thing which was being talked about, and now we've delivered that.
So explain this.
Rahul, sorry. The fundamental opposition to CAA is that it's citizenship by religion. How do you counter that?
Well, there are 2 or 3 issues. Number one, we're not talking about Indian citizens. We're talking about people who live abroad. Article 19, and this has been established by several Supreme Court orders in the past, only and expressly applies to Indian citizens. Indian citizens have the right to move freely and settle anywhere in the country. We are talking about a group of foreigners who we are bringing in. Now, I have some problems with the CA, as I have written in my book also. But the fundamental point here is that all rights are subject to certain reasonable limitations.
Yes.
This whole business of saying, and there are 3 real oppositions to it, that, why this cutoff date? 2014, December 31st. So if someone comes into the country on the 30th of December, he's okay. But if someone comes in
the 1st of Jan,
exactly, he doesn't apply for this. So this is a rather bizarre proposition. But so is that with driving. You could be 17 years, 362 days, but you won't get a driving license, would you? So there are reasonable restrictions that are applied. But the fundamental point is, it is a political move. There is no doubt about this, Zaka. The only
point is, will it stand the test of law?
Right. So here is
That's
a quibble.
The question.
Here is a quibble. You can't have a situation where you might create a reasonable classification. They have been upheld, and I was reading a statement, the United States saying, we're expressing concern. Yes. They have 2 laws on their books which create the same reasonable classification with respect to Iran, where Jews and Christians are persecuted, and it applies only to those 2. I feel, if anything, there should be no cutoff.
At all.
At all. If you are wanting to protect people who are trapped there, facing all sorts of hideous, tortures and persecution.
The biggest point here
I don't understand this December 31st, 2014 cutoff. Number one. Number 2.
Okay.
And last point. Number 2. What has the Supreme Court been doing for 2.5 years? It's a fundamental question that you need to ask. This particular hearing on this, the next hearing was supposed to happen 2.5 years ago. Why didn't the next hearing take place?
But on that, one second. So, one second. On that, to be fair to the court, you can say that a law is actuated after the rules are notified. The rules were not notified.
But then
you can make the same argument against the central government. What were they doing for 4 years?
4 years.
They didn't do anything.
No, 1 second. But why would then the court go into this issue at all? Frame the issues, have arguments, etc.
Because a petition was moved before the court. Anyway, Naren,
one of the whole debates on CA, CA does not apply to Indian Muslims. It applies to those who are coming from the outside. And the the Indian state is making a distinction between, yes, it is making a distinction between Hindus who are coming in and those from other nationalities. But that's the right of the Indian state. It does not affect Indian Muslims who are in.
We are missing one big point, gentlemen and the lady, and I hope I'm going to come back to Smita Prakash on this. This is a residue of partition.
Yeah.
The residue of partition impacted 4 countries today. As of partition impacted 4 countries as on today: Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bharat, and Bangladesh. Why? Because the persecuted Hindus or persecuted non-Muslims from Pakistan fled, either came towards Bharat, moved to Jammu, Punjab, and this region, or those who are on the far eastern side, the western side, they fled to Afghanistan. The Sikhs largely fled to Afghanistan, and that's why Afghanistan has been added. And this residue is on for more than 7.5 decades now. Here in eastern Pakistan, that was split into Bangladesh, and it became Bangladesh. We know the number of riots and the amount of persecution that's happened. So where do these people go? Point is, 7.5 decades down the line, to put a capping of 31st December 2014. How is that fair? Secondly, please, did you ask him this? Is it being read in conjunction with NRC?
NRC, he says, is not on the table right now. CCAA, the way it is, minus NRC, that is not up for discussion right now. As far as the CA is concerned, whether it is fair or not, the point is that even a Muslim can apply. It's not as if Muslims are excluded. This is just fast tracking of those who had been persecuted because of religious issues. I did ask him about Shias, Baloch, and the Ahmadiyas who are persecuted in Pakistan. What about them? The point is that what he says is, and that is the BJP's point of view, that if they are persecuted, then admit it. Firstly, it's not documented enough that they have faced persecution. But if they say that they were persecuted, they can apply again. They can apply for asylum out here. There are various categories. This is just to expedite it. It's not as if, and believe me, 2014 date, the whole thing, they have been living here. There are many of them who are into politics, who are in very important positions of power. When I got to know about the names, I was befuddled that nobody has actually reported on this, that they have been occupying, they have their ration card, they have their voter ID card, they have everything. So what are we talking about?
So we are talking about the fact that whether this aspect is going to impact the Bengal elections, even as Swapan Das Gupta ji joins us here into the studios. Ladies and gentlemen, as Zakir Jacob said, this survey, the News 18 mega opinion poll, was conducted before the CAA rule notifications happened. Bengal, let's look at the seat projections, and then we'll go to Swapan Das Gupta and ask him that, Swapan ji, if this is the projection, seat share projection before CAA rule notification, what is going to happen now? Ladies and gentlemen, 42 seats in Bengal, it's up to 25 seats for the BJP. Trinamool Congress slips from 17 to 22. The BJP jumps from 18 to 25. From 22 to 17 and 18 to 25. That's the up and the down between the Trinamool Congress and the BJP. Big jump there. Nothing for the left, nothing for the Congress party. It is between the Trinamool and the BJP. It's a straight fight. Similar vote share. 42% each. Congress Plus or the India Alliance gets 14%. The others are at 2%. It's a sweep in big terms for the BJP. If they are going to jump up, they're going to jump up 7 seats from last time around to 25 seats. And the Trinamool Congress slipping from 22 last time to just about 17. Swapan Das ji, how do you see these numbers? Welcome to the CNN News 18 studios. Good to have you with us here.
Thank you. I think they're very much in line with the national trends. You know, Bengal has always been a little different it's been a bit contrarian in a lot of ways. I think in 2019, we saw the trends in Bengal more or less converge somewhat with the national trends. And I think that trend is again now manifesting itself. Whether the CAA is going to have a tremendous impact on this, I don't know. What the CAA will do is it will consolidate a lot of the minority votes behind the Trinamool Congress. Whether the BJP succeeds in getting a corresponding degree of Hindu consolidation, if that happens, then I think 25 might go up to 27, 28.
27, 28.
It could go up, but that's a hypothetical situation.
You know,
and we're talking about the CA effect.
Yeah, if this happens, the fact that the BJP has more number of seats in the Lok Sabha than the TMC, this would be a seminal moment in Bengal politics. This would be comparable to what happened back in 2011. There was a change of regime, as it were, in 2011. This would signify a change, not necessarily a change of regime, but a seminal moment nonetheless. I want to bring our viewers up to speed.
Just one thing. If this indeed happens,
yes,
it will be the first time since about 1967 or 1971 that a national party becomes the leading party of Bengal in parliament. And that's a huge change.
444 out of 543 seats that have been declared before Zaka Jacob works his magic on the magic wall. Just reminding, 99 seats to be projected left. 327 for the NDA. Is it better than the last time around? Gentlemen, if my memory serves me right, they're close to what they did in 2019 as the NDA. 327, 90 for the INDI alliance, 27 others, 444 out of 543. Bengal, 25 seats. How is that possible?
We have how many more states to reveal? We have 2 more states to reveal.
Yes.
So that's Maharashtra and Gujarat. That's about 60 odd seats. Okay. Let's get to Bengal. The region-wise breakup. This is fascinating for me because you know, the southwestern part of Bengal, and look at these numbers. This is where the maximum gains are happening for the BJP. The southwestern part, which is Bankura, Purulia, Jungle Mahal, these are places where the BJP did very well back in 2019. They did lose out just a tad bit in 2021, the assembly election, but it seems like they're racing away in this part of Bengal. They're also doing very well in the northern part, which is Kuch Bihar, Alipurdwar, which again, I think they had 5 MPs from the northern belt of Bengal, again doing very well. The Trinamool only 1 MP from North Bengal, whereas the BJP getting 7. In the Kolkata and Greater Kolkata region, the BJP gets none, the TMC gets all 5. And in Southeast, which is North and South 24 Parganas, it's the TMC which still manages to have an edge, but the sweepstakes are evened out a bit. It's 5 to the BJP and 7 to the Trinamool Congress. But really, where the game has completely changed in favor of the BJP, and I want Rahul Shivshankar to weigh in on this, is in the tribal belt, Jungle Mahal, Bankura, Purulia, in the southwestern part of the state, bordering Bihar, many of those districts. Do you see this happening, Rahul Shivshankar? Because if it does, and I say this again, if this happens, if it is BJP 25 and Trinamool Congress 17, then I shudder to think what the Assembly of 2026, the West Bengal Assembly elections of 2026 might portend.
Why would you shudder? It's not as if the heavens would have come down. But nonetheless, let me just come in here. There are 4 states that we've called before this one. 3 of them were tribal-dominated states. Orissa, which is, of course, on the one side of Bengal. Then you have Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand.
Yeah.
And then you have parts of Andhra and Telangana, of course. So there is a consistent pattern. The tribal vote is moving towards the BJP. Our poll is establishing this. Now, by how much and all of that, one can't say. But there is a definite swing, and therefore the BJP is registering a presence in some of these states. Number 2, very importantly, look at data. There were 21 seats where victory margin was less than the 3rd position candidate votes. Now, why was this? Because the TMC had 43% of the vote. The BJP had 40% of the vote. In Southwest, it lost 6 of these seats by between 3%, 0 and 3%. Maybe, I don't know, those seats have come back. One of those seats, and in the overall number, out of 21, 11 of 21, the TMC led by the slimmest of margins. 8 out of 21, the BJP led by the slimmest of margins. So there can be flux. It's difficult to call this one. There's an equal vote share. But the growth is happening on the BJP side of the fence.
Yeah.
The 42, 43%, in fact, I think the TMC has lost a percent if it's at 42.
Yes.
and the BJP is picked up 2%.
Yeah, and
that tells you that
it's picked up from the left and it's picked up from some of the others. Professor
Let
Dinesh
me- let
Vashne
me-
is with us.
let's
Priyanka
talk about-
Tibrewal is with us.
Yeah.
I'm just going to come back to Zaka Jacob, as I say, and Manojit Mandal is also with us. It's a poor bandwidth with Manojit Mandal. We'll try and sort that out and make up for it. Let's look at 2019. Yes, Zaka.
Vote share, the BJP's vote share has gone up by 2% from 40% to 42%, and the TMC's has slipped by about 1.2% from 43.2 down to 42. But I think, what is fascinating for me, Anand, Rahul, Chopin, is look, this is the southwestern part of Bengal. The BJP had maximized in these seats last time around. What our poll is suggesting is that they'll get more in the southwestern part. Here in the southeastern part, which is south and north 24 Parganas, you have districts like Nadia, Malda, all of that, all the way up till here. This is where the TMC dominated in the last election. This poll is suggesting that the TMC's dominance in the southeastern part and also in the central eastern part of Bengal will reduce if it turns out that the BJP gets 25 and the TMC gets 17. Of course, the BJP had a big presence in the north of Bengal as well last time around.
Yeah.
That seems to be the case this time around as well. For me, the fascinating thing is that, again, I reiterate, this poll happened before the CAA. These are the parts that border Bangladesh. These are the parts where the TMC has done exceptionally well, not just in the Lok Sabha of 2019, but more in the Assembly of 2021. If we have a poll, Smita.
Mamata Banerjee has sustained a quote major injury, says TMC. There's a picture that they have posted on Twitter. She seems to have a head injury. If you want to show the picture, she seems to have had a head injury and she's bleeding in the head, and there's some stitch marks on her head. It's their word is that she's had, and it looks pretty bad. The picture, I don't know whether you can
unfortunate.
zoom.
Yeah,
in.
it's an unfortunate turn of events.
Yeah.
She is at the SSKM hospital and she has had some injury there right at the center. It's on her forehead. We are just trying to ensure that the visuals can be a little disturbing as we put it right away. So we'll just put it and treat it a bit and then put it out. But that's the update that's just come. Professor Dinesh Vashne, Priyanka Tibrewal with us, and we also have Manojit Mandal. Now, this is an instance we'll try and connect with Kamalika to try and understand what has happened because they've showed that she has sustained injury, and it's the Trinamool Congress AITMC official handle that has tweeted and said, our chairperson, Mamata official, sustained a major injury. Please keep her in your prayers. So this is what is the update. We've got the pictures. We'd not put it out on air right now. We just treat it a bit and then put it out. Now, that's an unfortunate turn of events. But we'll go back to Kamalika and get an update as to what happened, where it happened in just a bit. Right now, staying back and keeping the focus on the News 18 mega opinion poll at this point, Professor Dinesh Vashne, the left is nowhere in sight. It's a two-way fight between the BJP and the Trinamool right now. Professor Vashne, can you hear me? Well, I don't think Professor Dinesh Vashne can hear. Priyanka Tibrewal, will you take 25 seats or do you expect more? You're on mute, Priyanka ji. You're on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Am I audible now?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes. So my prayers for Mamata Banerjee, and secondly, as I said, that ye dil mange more. And you see this number which you've shown here as 25, this will go till 28 or 29. Now, I do not agree to one more thing which you said, that we are getting no seats in Kolkata. By the time you were showing this, I received at least 20 messages from people of Kolkata, which is the Kolkata city, and they are saying that we are going to win the North Kolkata seat this time. And it won't be a big surprise. I'm telling you, please watch it out here, that North Kolkata seat will be won by the BJP this time. Because the kind of corruption which was witnessed everywhere on the ground, you know, all the jails, all the courts are all located in the city. And it is the city who has witnessed everything. And moreover, Sandesh Khali will be a big factor. And overall, to add up, CAA will be commendable. change which will be witnessed on the ground.
Right, we'll come back to this in just a bit. Just trying to see if we can connect with Kamalika to try and understand what's happened with Mamata Banerjee, the Chief Minister of Bengal, the All India Trinamool Congress, just putting out a tweet saying that she is in SSKM hospital. She's been admitted to the hospital. She is injured. She has had a head injury. The images show that she has got an injury to her forehead, and there is a certain level of bleeding, and the pictures show that she is in the hospital bed, ladies and gentlemen. We'll try and connect with Kamalika to try and get an understanding as to what has happened. She is the Chief Minister of Bengal, Mamata Banerjee. We do not know where and how she's got the injury, but right now we are given to understand that she has sustained a major injury and she is in hospital. She is at the SSKM hospital. We'll try and see if we have Kamalika through with her. No, we don't have. Kamalika is through with us on the phone. Yes, Kamalika, what happened? Where did it happen?
See, what we are getting it from our sources, and the party Twitter handle has already tweeted that she got injured. Now, how this injury took place is still not clear. But right now, she is in SSKM Hospital of Kolkata, which is the government hospital, and there is a team of doctors which is looking after her. This is clearly a cut injury which seems to have happened from top in the entire face. So whether she fell down or what led to this injury, that still is not clear. But definitely it's a very grievous injury. That's what we are getting it from the hospital sources. Till now, that's not clear that how she got the injury. But the photo that has come up from the Trinamool Congress and from the hospital sources, we are coming to know that this cut is a very deep cut which has taken place. But how this injury has taken place, that's still not clear.
Right. We will try and we just pray and hope that it's not very serious and she is back up on her feet and up and about soon. It does look like a deep cut there right at the center of the forehead, and there is a certain significant amount of bleeding even as she is at the hospital bed. It looks like this is just before she has been treated and she has been attended to at the SSKM hospital where she is currently. There will be the best team of doctors that will be attending to her. We must remember this is not the first time that she has had an injury when on the campaign trail. Even ahead of the Vidhan Sabha elections, the Bengal polls, she had gotten injured in her foot, and it is the same hospital that she was brought to, and thereafter she campaigned right through on a wheelchair. Here right now she is in the hospital. We will try and go back and get more details from Kamalika as and when we get some clarity. Trinamool Congress just putting out this picture. Let's go back to Priyanka Tibrewal, Professor Manojit Mandal, and back to the News 18 mega opinion poll, which is putting out the numbers of Bengal. And ladies and gentlemen, the big call on Bengal is that it is the BJP that is taking Bengal way ahead of the Trinamool Congress, 25-17. Professor Manojit Mandal, your response, 42% vote share each is what the News 18 mega opinion poll is predicting, and this was done before the CAA rule notification.
First of all, my sincere prayer for Mamata. May she get well very soon. The country needs her very badly at this point in time. Everyone knows that, not just Bengal. Coming back to your poll, I have got full respect for the poll, and reminds me badly of what happened just 3 years back. Exactly same kind of predictions were being done, and somewhat Mr. Amit Shah said, "Aapki baar, 200 par," and we ultimately knew the result. Even during the exit polls, I think most of the pollsters actually wrote CMs off, and you saw the result.
Votes in 2021, similar things are going to happen. I was really surprised to know, and I will sort of forgive me for saying this. These opinion polls are most of the areas that you're showing from Jangal Mahal. I come from this region because my native village is still very much there in Jangal Mahal. Jhargram MP, he has resigned few days back. Bankura MP, who is a Minister of State, he was being ground day in and day after by the BJP people. Vishnupur MP, Soumitra Khan, his former wife is fighting against him, saying that this person is not even seen in Vishnupur for the last 5 years. Purulia MP, not seen in Purulia for the last 5 years. I repeat, I've got full respect for the opinion poll, but have you taken the real opinion of the people, or you have, picture imagination,
Professor Mondal, I would just like to say you are entitled to your opinion and respectfully and perfectly true. What we can say is 518, please hear me out, 518 Lok Sabha constituencies across 21 states of the country, covering nearly 95% of the 543 seats. Each Lok Sabha seat, nearly 218 respondents per Lok Sabha seat, and 3 Vidhan Sabha constituencies of each Lok Sabha seat have been covered. Each interview is a personal interview, a computer-aided personal interview, and this has been done. The overall sample size of this survey is 118,000 plus. If you would do the math, you would understand that this is perhaps very, very comprehensive, in-depth. Each of the interviews has also been geotagged to ensure that the interviews and the survey happens at the location that is being claimed in the Vidhan Sabha constituency of the Lok Sabha seat. So that's the News 18 mega opinion poll done by News 18 Poll Hub. You may agree, disagree with the words, but the integrity of it, the honesty of it, of the purpose and the effort, well, that's where something where we would like to differ with you.
And then he's a surprise from 2 to 18 and now from 18 to 28.
15 lakh. Hang on, please, let me speak. Why? You have already won the elections. Why do something like that? Let me speak.
Thank you.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
You have won the election.
Thank you.
What was the question of party?
See, we love your overconfidence. We love your overconfidence where you thought that we were nobody.
I'll tell you.
If we are a nobody, if we were
Let's not make this
non-existent
acrimonious.
anywhere.
Let's not. I'll just pull away
See,
from
he's so worried about the MPs
Dinesh
of
Vashri,
BJP
Professor.
where they are seen that
Well,
they're not
Professor,
seen.
I'll move away from Manojit Mandal and also Priyanka Tibbarwal coming back into the studio. Dr. Anand Ranganathan has also made his way along with Swapan Das Gupta and Smita Prakash and Nalin Mehta. Everybody is busy making notes, trying to look at the projections and busy in their own individual huddle.
Well,
Dr.
the
Ranganathan, why is your pad empty?
The electoral bonds list is also out. So while you're doing this election analysis, there's such a news fall which is happening. So obviously one doesn't know the names as yet because there are all these company names. But the first thing I was looking was that I can't see an Adani and Ambani. So that's going to make a lot of trouble with people who are saying, kahan pe? You know, Adani, Ambani kahan hai? I can't see in the list so far. But of course, there might be company names,
All right.
which could be that.
Back on Bengal. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan.
I think, pun not intended, this sends a message or sandesh, if I may say so. This was before the CAA, but this was after the Sandesh Khali horror, if I'm not mistaken. So it's absolutely clear, and it's not just the Sandesh Khali fiasco that TMC has had to face, not just the fact that for 55 days, the tormentor of dozens of women, alleged gang rapist, was on the run, not just the fact that the Kolkata High Court severely blasted the local state government there and the police being in cahoots. All these things have had an effect. And the fact of the matter is that 25 is, I think, 8 or 7 more than what the BJP managed last time.
18 they had last time.
18, yeah. So Swapanda would be absolutely elated with the result.
But is this Sandesh Kali, Swapan Das Gupta? Is this the impact of Sandesh Kali? Because there is a view that it's some people say, it's one island, it's off, out at sea, and who really cares about it?
No doubt you're right about the geographical aloofness of Sandesh Kali.
Yes.
But I think it would be interesting if you have the data to see if the gender ratio, if there has been a swing of women voters against the Trinamool Congress after Sandesh Kali. And if you compare it to 2019, if you've got the data, that would really be the answer to her question. However, I would draw one caveat on this question of being elated on the 25, is that in Bengal, elections are a little different from everywhere else in the country. Insofar as in the rest of the country, people vote. In Bengal, the vote is managed. And I think that how much of it, I don't want to cast aspersions on the integrity of the elections, but this is a reality we've got to face up to, and whether that will have a 2 to 3% impact is something which we need to be
Nalin,
careful about.
Some of our viewers might be interested in the fact that why is it that the BJP and the TMC are at exactly the same vote share, but the BJP gets 7-8 seats more than the TMC?
That's not particularly surprising because of the way the vote is concentrated for the BJP in certain areas. If you look at your map, even last time the BJP had a significant number of seats, but it was largely in the southwest, little bit in the east and in the north. And to add to the point that Rahul was making earlier in this program on the tribal vote for the BJP, I do want to make a larger point that nationally last time the BJP had a 70% strike rate in tribal seats. It won 31 out of the 47 odd reserved seats. Your poll is showing that trend has got strengthened this time, including in Bengal.
Okay, interesting that you point out. Have you noticed that Rahul Gandhi goes on talking about Vanvasi, Adivasi? Because I think what has happened is in these elections, the state elections also, traditionally everybody used to believe that the tribal vote falls into the kitty of the Congress as it always used to. So, but these state elections showed up that that's not the case. So you saw in 2019 a wave moving away from the Congress for the tribal vote. And now again, when these elections are coming, you're seeing this in Bengal also. So I think this whole Vanvasi, Adivasi debate one. And the second one, just quickly, I wanted to say is that when you talked about Sandesh Khali, I think you can see that when the TMC is going on talking about the women vote, because the women vote is essential for Mamata Banerjee. If that is going to be moving away from TMC towards the BJP, that just clearly shows that what the BJP had always said, that this is not about an outsider vote. We are not outsiders, and the TMC always said that these are the outsiders. Baharka. So that whole thing will crumble. That narrative will crumble.
Just some data here on the women vote. TMC now obviously anticipating perhaps something, raise the Lakshmi Bhandar cash benefit scheme from 500 to 1,000 for general women and 1,200 for SC/ST women. This has just happened. But just looking at the voting patterns, 2019, 17 out of 42 Lok Sabha seats, women recorded a higher turnout than men. In these seats, the TMC emerged victorious in 8, BJP in 7, the Congress in 2. In 7 of these seats, the difference in turnout between men and women was more than 5%. In Malda North, this gap was as high as 7.79%. So it is a significant vote that is having a determining effect in certain seats. And I'm going purely by the data. Perhaps we can pull out.
No, so I want to focus on two factors.
Also managing the voting, which Shopanda said. Because I think this time, the election commission is going to have an excessive amount, excessive is what the other parties will say, but a significant amount of police presence, central forces present out there to see this managing of votes, which has been a tradition.
But it's not what happens during polling. It's what's been happening after
even
the
on
election.
polling day. On polling day. This managing of getting voters and not getting certain voters, which is why you would see more central
we are on the M factor, managing elections. We talked about Matuas, Mahila. Can I just bring in the Muslim factor, right? Because let's be very clear about this. Mamata Banerjee, one of the three-pronged sort of vote banks of hers, one of them happens to be the Muslims, and the Muslims are a significant, particularly in those districts that border Bangladesh. I just want to bring where the Muslims are more than 20%. And here again, you can have two countercurrents, right? You can have one, the Muslim consolidation in favor of the Trinamool Congress. You could also have, in the aftermath of the CAA, a Matua and a Hindu consolidation. So whether it is in, South and North 24 Parganas, whether you go further north to Nadia and other districts in the central part of the state, the key for the BJP is, if because of CAA and because of this perception that Mamata Banerjee is dependent so much on the Muslim vote, particularly in the districts that border Bangladesh, if there is a reverse Hindu consolidation, then this sea of green that you see, and look at the difference in vote share in the last election, even though the number of seats was 22 to TMC and 18 to the BJP, the vote share difference was almost 10% in these seats. Not so much in the rest of Bengal, but in these seats, it was a 10% vote gap between the TMC and the BJP. The BJP, as per the News18 poll, opinion poll for 2024, will and must narrow this gap, because otherwise you're not going to see a situation where the BJP has 25 and the TMC has 17. All right.
Well, we got lots of inputs,
the
lots
Muslim
of
vote,
news, lots of conversations. But the fact is, ladies and gentlemen, Bengal, if it turns out as the News 18 mega opinion poll, then that means, as Swapan Das Gupta said, that perhaps is indicative of the entire trend nationally. As we take a break, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have too many seats to speak about. 518 is the number that the News 18 mega opinion poll has done. 25 more seats. We will extrapolate based on the trends. 327 to the NDA, halfway mark is 272, 90 to the INDIA, 444 out of 543, 99 more seats to project. And to tell you, 2 big states to go. Stay with us right here on CNN News 18 on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll. Back on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll, ladies and gentlemen, so far 331 seats, 249 to the NDA. They are within striking distance. 23 seats they need more to cross that halfway number of 272. PM Modi may have set the benchmark very high, but in that race to the parliament and into governance, 272 is the halfway mark. 543 seats in the Lok Sabha. If the NDA crosses 272 even before all the seats are declared, then are they on course to go at least 330 par? Let's try and see where it is. Where will they end on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll? 331 out of 543 seats have been declared. So there are still about 200 plus seats to go, ladies and gentlemen. So that means 212 seats to go. So is that possible? What do you think could be the final number? Stay with us. Let's bring in the next state in the mix, even as our guests are with us. Shivani Gupta with me here on the Magic Wall and Rahul Shivshankar on the consulting editor's chair. The state of Odisha, ladies and gentlemen. Will they shake hands? Will they say, chalo, bhai bhai mein no ladai? We'll have to wait and watch the BJD and the BJP. But it is 21 seats. The BJP will take 13. 8 to the BJD. So 13 more get added to the NDA kitty courtesy the BJP. Is this big gains for the BJP compared to the last time around where they had less than 10 seats? That's the big story, ladies and gentlemen. Is there a shift away from the BJD towards the BJP, and is this the future course? Remember, Odisha votes simultaneously for the Vidhan Sabha and the Lok Sabha. What's going to happen there? Will they all say, bhai bhai mein no ladai? Vote share. 40, 43, 15 and 2. 43% vote share for the BJP when it comes to the Lok Sabha election. Does that translate to any gains for them in the Vidhan Sabha? We'll have to wait and watch. Highly unlikely. There they believe Naveen Babu is the right person and they trust the BJD, the ODI, popular, the voters. But when it comes to Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the ticket, Lok Sabha, it is the BJP that they depend on, and that means a 43% vote share will give them a very rich return of 13 seats. And that clearly is more, because my memory serves me right, the BJP last time around had less than 10 seats. So that means there are gains here. What does that mean? Let's get into Chhattisgarh quickly. Let's understand Chhattisgarh is the magic 272 number, getting up with the Chhattisgarh numbers. 11 seats. 11 seats and the BJP taking 10. Straight fight between BJP and the Congress is flattened out, and that's the big news. Here on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll, 363 out of 543, the NDA touches the halfway mark. 272 for the NDA. That's the big headline right now, with the BJP taking 10 out of the 11 Chhattisgarh seats. Big gains, and with nearly 180 seats still to be declared. 180 seats still to be declared. 16 states announced, 5 seats left. 180 seats still to go. The NDA has crossed the halfway mark. Halfway mark, ladies and gentlemen. 272 for the NDA on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll. That means with 180 seats still to go, 180 सीटें बाकी है. You can see the bottom of the screen. 363 out of 543. 180 seats still to go. And the NDA has crossed the halfway mark on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll. That's the big flash, the big news here on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll, ladies and gentlemen. The NDA crosses the halfway mark with still a lot to go. There you go. That's the big one. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the led BJP and the NDA, boom, crosses the halfway mark. 272 plus for them. And on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll, let's look at the numbers. 327 already. The state of Gujarat, 26 seats that Gujarat will return to the center in the Lok Sabha elections. All of them going to the BJP. Is there a surprise there? After that landmark, historic victory in the Vidhan Sabha, and that too, the Prime Minister and the Home Minister's home state of Gujarat. Gujarat will set the tone for their Vada Pradhan. 56% vote share, INDI Alliance at 36% vote share, the others at 8%, ladies and gentlemen. These 26 seats take the NDA past the 350 number. So 350 par has happened. 350 par with 48 more seats to go has happened for the NDA. But what does that account for the BJP? Is the BJP gaining? Is it going to do better than 302? Is it in position there? Let's try and understand this, ladies and gentlemen. Himachal, 0. Punjab, +1. Haryana, Delhi, 0. Uttarakhand, 0. Gains. Uttar Pradesh, the gains from last time around, from 2019. For the BJP is 13 seats. Well, beg your pardon, for the NDA. Bihar, it's losing 1 seat. Assam, it's gaining 1 seat. West Bengal, it's gaining 7 seats. Jharkhand, it's the same as the last time around. So where are the gains overall happening for the NDA? +1 in Chhattisgarh, +5 in Odisha, +4 in Telangana. It's the same story as far as Madhya Pradesh is concerned. Let's move to the south. It's gaining 15 seats in Andhra Pradesh. It's down 1 in Karnataka, up 2 in Kerala, and up 5, +5, opening its account in Tamil Nadu, +5, ladies and gentlemen. So overall, the total gains are 54 seats for the NDA. 54 seats for the NDA. Rajasthan and Gujarat is the same as the last time around. 54 seats plus for the NDA so far. We have not accounted for the 48 seats of Maharashtra yet. 353. Total number of seats, 470 out of 543. You will say the math is not adding up. Why? Because 25 seats we will extrapolate and we will put out the final number. We have polled on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll 518 Lok Sabha constituencies. So 25 will be left. We will extrapolate based on the trends and we'll put out the final number out of 543. But for 470 seats so far, it is 353 for the NDA. Runaway victory already. Zaka Jacob, are there any surprises? 350 par for NDA, 400 par possible.
You know, with all due apologies to my friends in Gujarat, there's really nothing to talk about. I mean, like, you got 26 out of 26 for the last 2 elections straight, and now, presumably, for the 3rd election. What do you talk about? I mean, like, there's nothing to talk about. I'm sorry, Rahul. I defer to you.
Is there a correlation? No, I'm just asking you a question because I don't have the information. Maybe people here might. Is there a correlation between prime ministers carrying their state election after election, or there have been some prime ministers who became prime minister but lost their state? I mean, was it Inder Kumar Gujral, Gowda?
I don't remember Manmohan Singh carrying the state. So
yeah, exactly. Neither Inder Kumar Gujral
became the president.
Yeah, not Inder Kumar Gujral.
I mean, what I meant was, did the state also?
No. Charan Singh Morarji Desai. They were not associated with the state as such.
Yeah.
So I don't think we can look
they
at.
weren't on the ticket.
But Mr. Modi is definitely associated with Gujarat, and you saw in 2022 156 seats for the BJP, Congress 17, and Aam Aadmi Party opening their share in the assembly with 5.
But can you believe this result?
Yeah,
I mean, I think the
very
prime
much
minister has gone
believable.
into is good. No, I'm not being. I am actually now throwing this question out there.
In
It is
fact,
a
I would be
remarkable
surprised if it
assertion.
becomes 60% instead of 56%.
It's a remarkable assertion of the BJP's ability to have reached the public out there and built a perception that it is the a party that obviously has now pan-national presence. And most importantly, what does this do for the satraps? Look at the gains. They've all come at the expense mostly of regional parties. Even the DMK has been cut to size, if we go by our projections. This is an alteration of the way the center is also going to interlocute with states now and regional parties. And thirdly, just to put it out there, and we can discuss this maybe, the Rajya Sabha situation is going to dramatically alter after this. And that's going to have implications.
The first 100 days post May 2024, the result day, will be very, very critical. The first 100 days post 2019 results were also very, very critical and landmark, ladies and gentlemen. So let's not forget that.
And the
But here's the question that I want to put to all of you.
Race ahead with his
Here's the
agenda.
question that I want to put to all of you. 73 selected, 47 seats more to 400, 400 par for the NDA. My question to you, lady and the gentleman, is this is the third time they are seeking a mandate. And it's bigger than ever before. Dr. Ranganathan, what does it say?
I think it's just
already
remarkable.
bigger than ever before. Huh?
Yeah, I think it's really remarkable to beat anti-incumbency once is tough. To beat it twice is remarkable. To beat it 3 times round is just, I would say, phenomenal. I was, in fact, I've been speaking with people and saying, where was the need to say 400 par? Because A, it sometimes can reek of overconfidence, and B, it can instill some lethargy or inertia in the voters and say, well, jeet to gaye, ab kya vote kare? So is it something that is going to boomerang? Well, judging by the opinion poll.
Entrenchment also of conservatism,
Right.
conservative politics.
Right.
I don't know. I think the Prime Minister has also entered now a realm of very few global leaders who've come back. I think in Britain, you probably had the maximum going back to Walpole.
But, you know, to
more
explain
than
this,
3 terms. I mean, you've had some British Prime Ministers who've come back 3 times.
I think.
He was there for 20 years or so.
But you know,
not the scale.
if I can
Yes.
just explain this, just citing one example, because Tehseen interrupted me yesterday, and I fact checked him, he was woefully wrong, but he's not here, so there's
He was
no point.
woefully wrong today also.
Oh, was he? Yeah. But you know, how does one explain it? To reiterate what I said yesterday, Anand, it's been 11 years since Obamacare was launched. 40 million Americans have got this Affordable Health Insurance Act. 40 million in 11 years. It's been 6 years since Modi Care or Ayushman was launched. The population of people with Ayushman is more than the population of America, 330 million people. More than the population of United Kingdom people, Indians have been treated on Ayushman Bharat. I mean, these are staggering figures. So when you ask, how has this man beaten anti-incumbency twice over? It's on the basis of results.
Right, on the basis of results. Yeah, quickly, I have to. Yes.
Anand says, why did the Prime Minister have to say 400 par? One, I think it is to energize the cadres, because there does come about a lethargy and, that, okay, fine, Modi is going to win it for us. After 2 elections, to energize your cadres to go for the election, you need a target and 400 par. The other thing is, when you put this huge target of 400, you're also giving a signal to possible allies. It could be a Naidu, it could be in Orissa, it could be Patnaik, it could be anybody, to say that, look, we are going way beyond just 272. We are going 400. Come join us in this plan.
On the one hand, there is one group which said 100 par, the other one is saying 400 par. Now, which is possible? Like we're going to take a break. We're way over here on the broadcast. When we come back, that one big state of Maharashtra, 48 seats and the 25 seats extrapolated, 73 seats that we will account for, ladies and gentlemen. Can the NDA manage 47 out of those 73 seats? Because that means they will touch that number of 400. It's the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll. This is the scorecard right now. Stay right here with us here on the News 18 Network on CNN News 18.
Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, featuring in Ravi Murugaya's Bharat.
Big win. What does that mean? How many more out of the 180 seats that are left are these BJP Pradhan, or this is where the BJP has to do a lot of ghabasan? That's the interesting part, ladies and gentlemen, because how many more from these 180 can they win to get closer to that 400 par target for the NDA? That's the big question. 130 out of those 180 is that even possible to touch 400. Interesting.
Yeah. But very interesting numbers coming out of Odisha, and one wonders, is this why the BJD may consider an alliance with the BJP? Because look at the reversal. The BJD last time had 12 seats, they're losing 4 according to our poll. So they're coming down to 8. The BJP was at 8, they're gaining 5, so going to 13, and the Congress had 1, they're losing that 1. Vote share wise, the BJP is now being projected at 43%. They're gaining 3 from the BJD, 2 from the others. So the BJD comes down to 40 and the BJP goes up to 43. That's the vote share difference. But this is such a story for the BJP because this is one of those states where you know that the elections happen at the same time with the Lok Sabha elections, the state and the assembly and the Lok Sabha elections. And even though the BJP has been trying to inch up as far as the Lok Sabha tally is concerned, they don't really make a dent as far as assembly is concerned.
Look at
Naveen Patnaik always considered very strong as far as Odisha is concerned, but it looks like the BJP could become the single largest party here.
The single largest party as far as Lok Sabha is concerned. Vidhan Sabha will wait and see. Yeah, and Chhattisgarh, if we let's quickly look
let's
at
quickly
2019.
go across to Chhattisgarh as well. And Chhattisgarh, of course, you know, this is one of those states that they have rest back as well. So they will hope that this is going to be an important one for them. So this is how it stood. They're gaining a couple of seats here. I think one seat here, 10 from 9.
10 out of 11, 9 and 2 last time around. Now Rahul Shivshankar, Javed Ansari, Nistula Ahbar will also go across to our guests on the other side or joining us. Tehseen Poonawala has just jumped out of the studio. Nalin Mehta is standing there, managing editor, Moneycontrol on queue. Why don't you walk into the set, sir? It's all right. It's all happening live here. Hamare viewers se kya chupana? Please come and sit. Rahul Shivshankar.
Well,
5 seats plus in Odisha. 1 seat plus in Chhattisgarh, some gains in Telangana. Is the BJP set to do better than 303 right now with 180 seats still to go?
Well, remember that what we are projecting are NDA numbers. There are also certain states where the BJP is in an alliance. So we need to now fine tune and go back to all these numbers and set the NDA aside. So we need to find out how many JDS is going to win, how many JDU will win, etc., and get to the BJP number. But it does appear that there is a pro-incumbency sentiment now. It can be easily said for Mr. Modi. And the fact is that the India Alliance has a lot of work to do. Perhaps it made a mistake in not going in there and presenting a clear message and a unified front, because it is absolutely now clear that the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, enjoys a huge advantage in the public imagination when it comes to the national elections. He carries the BJP across the threshold, and he seems to have done it now, third election. And if that does happen, he will be, after Nehru, the only other Prime Minister to have repeated his term in office thrice consecutively. Of course, there's a huge debate about whether we should even count Mr. Nehru's first term, because it was, as you all know, appointed and did not win a mandate as such. But that's a whole different.
See, 33 seats that the BJP needs to win right now from here, not necessarily 33 seats. NDA is right now at 272, not the BJP necessarily.
Not the BJP.
But out of 180 seats, the remaining states, ladies and gentlemen, we've done that. Back on the News 18 mega opinion poll, not just a halfway race, it's going the whole hog, ladies and gentlemen. NDA 350 par already, 353 par, still 73 seats to be announced, ladies and gentlemen, on the News 18 mega opinion poll. Will the BJP do its best ever? Will the NDA cross that 400 ka number, 400 par? These are questions that need to be answered. There is one big state to go. That is the state of Maharashtra, 48 seats. We'll get to that. We are counting back to it exactly at 9:15. We'll put out the Maharashtra and, of course, the All India numbers. But Ladies and gentlemen, this is the most comprehensive, exhaustive, widespread opinion poll in a long, long time. We have gone to 518 constituencies, the News18 Poll Hub, doing computer-aided personal interviews across 518 Lok Sabha constituencies. Let's quickly bring you the methodology so that it's beyond doubt that there is nothing tele about it, there is nothing imaginary about it, it's all on ground. 21 major states have been covered, accounting for 95% of the Lok Sabha constituencies. The remaining 25 seats, we will make a projection, an extrapolation based on the trends, and we'll give you the final numbers. 1,18,616 people have been polled, with